Welcome, everyone. It's Friday. That means open phones. So we got a lot going on to talk about this morning on the program. No doubt about that. Yeah, this incident. This is our top of the hour break.
You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab.
It's almost time to come on.
Or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now.
Fridays, of course, is open phones on the program. And this is the last day of our regular stations. Starting Monday, we're going to be on all of the other radio stations we're networking with. We'll definitely talk about this incident in Japan and what the thumbnail is about. That's huge. Biden should be arrested for that story. I mean, he's just committed hardcore financial crimes and treason with giving this oil to China. We're going to talk about that and a whole bunch more.
No appointment is necessary. But make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Are you feeling over the hill? Tired? Sluggish? Taking those midday naps?
Well, Steve, give me a raise. Well, let's hope, right?
If you want to look and feel like you did when you were young, call Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West El Rey and talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy. Take it from me. I'm a patient. It works. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. And make sure to tell him you heard about him on the radio.
The new Oldies 95.3
Here we go.
96.9 is here.
Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music.
WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station.
I love these people.
Now celebrating 45 years. It's the longest running radio show in Florida.
We are on the air.
The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, guys, welcome to the program. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show, and it is Friday, which means open phones on the program. That's right, anything and everything you have on your mind, so long as it is relevant to the conversation. Open phones on Friday at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Now, I did see the assassination of the former Prime Minister of Japan, Abe, whose name is spelled like Abe. This is the Prime Minister that was over here with President Trump. And he was assassinated, the former Prime Minister and also the longest serving Prime Minister. I just read that just a little while ago. He was Prime Minister twice, the longest serving Prime Minister. And what is interesting about this is that he was shot. This assassination of the Japanese Prime Minister was done with a gun. And in Japan, I almost said China, in Japan, they have very, very strict gun control. Probably we brought gun control to them at the end of the Second World War and never gave it back to them. So they have pretty much 100% gun control in Japan. You cannot own a handgun. There's a huge process which is nearly impossible to complete to get a shotgun, and they allow air rifles. But this was done, this assassination of the Japanese Prime Minister was done with a homemade shotgun. Can you imagine? I've never even heard of such a thing, a homemade shotgun. And you look at these last two gun incidents, Japan, that's just happening now, the assassination of the former Prime Minister, and you look at what happened in Highland Park, Illinois, where they have the strictest gun control in America, really, in Highland Park. They really do. It's not helping the gun control crowd make their argument, because what this assassination in Japan show you, as well as Highland Park, is that, well, gun control, shocker, gun control laws don't work, because guess what? We have a ban on murder, and that doesn't stop anyone, does it? No, it does not indeed. All right, so our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. As I said, it is open phones always on Friday. Just please try to be relevant to what's going on in the news cycle. If it's a little random, that might be okay. We'll take that on a case-by-case basis. I want to talk, though, before we go to the phones. You've seen this story And this is being widely reported. We are dealing with just record high gas prices. I mean, I'm paying more for gasoline than I ever have. There's a new report that is out everywhere, even though Jean-Pierre pretends not to know about it. I'm going to read a headline from Breitbart. Joe Biden sold nearly 1 million barrels from the United States Strategic Petroleum Reserve to CCP, that's Chinese Communist Party, to CCP-owned oil company linked to Hunter Biden firm. Okay, this is treason. To take oil from the Strategic Oil Reserve of the United States and give it to our enemy, China. Giving it to any other country would be treason, but especially China. But I want to talk about this for a minute. A Hunter Biden-linked firm. This is not a Hunter Biden-linked firm. This is a Joe Biden-linked firm. Hunter Biden is the money launderer for Joe. That's the way it is. He's Joe Biden's money mule. You've heard of drug mules? He's his money mule. He is the front man for the crime family that the Bidens have, that's led by Pops, Joe. So Joe Biden, I want you to think about this now. Think about this. This is insanity. They're putting the bodega guy in jail. They let him out, lowered the bail, but the bodega guy defending his life wasn't even his store. They put him in jail, but Joe Biden, think about what Joe Biden just did. He took oil from the United States Strategic Oil Reserve and sold it to himself. If you think about it, if it's a Hunter Biden-linked firm that profited from it, that means really Joe profited. So that he is stealing, by the way, while we are suffering with the highest gas prices in the history of the United States of America, how is this not financial crimes and also treason? Breitbart, President Joe Biden's administration sold 950,000 barrels of oil from the United States Strategic Petroleum Reserve to a Chinese state-owned gas company that has financial ties to a private equity firm co-founded by Hunter Biden, according to the Washington Free Beacon. I mean, come on. He's selling America's oil to himself in China. Can you imagine? All these investigations of President Trump, who's never broken the law. Maybe a speed limit in Palm Beach back in the day when he was driving his fancy cars around. Maybe made a rolling stop at a stop sign once in his Lamborghini. But this is hardcore crime. Hardcore crime. And you know what? Even though it's being reported everywhere, and I know people will say, well, it's not going to go anywhere. This is not the case. There's a big move by the Democrats to dump Joe. The MAGA Republicans are going to be taking over both houses of Congress in just a few short months. You want to talk about high crimes and misdemeanors, this is it. This isn't suborning perjury, which is what they impeached Bill Clinton on. This is hardcore crime right here. Financial crime and treason. And major theft. You know what it's like? It's like you go to work and you steal things from your work. You take things home from work and you sell them on eBay. People go to jail for that. I've heard stories of people going to jail. They go around stealing things from their work and put them on eBay. You ever see these stories? Yeah, it happens all the time. That's what Joe Biden is doing on a level that has never been done before. Let me tell you, we've had a lot of creeps and corrupt people in public office in this country. What the Bush-Cheney administration did, their war crimes are god-awful. I mean, there's like, 1 million people dead because of Dick Cheney and George Bush's lies about weapons of mass destruction. Okay? So that's bad stuff, and that, you know, this isn't as bad as that because there's so many people died. But this is the biggest financial crime I think that's ever been committed in the United States, certainly by a public official. This almost 1 million barrels of oil sold to himself, Joe Biden. Are you kidding me? All right. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. It is a toll-free call from anywhere. We got a lot to cover today. I'll take a call or two here. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, Jeff from Maine. How are you?
All right, Jeff. What's up?
Listen, that man that defended himself, a girl had come in to buy a bag of chips. There was no money on her card. The boyfriend come in and started attacking this man, and if you watch the video, he attacked him like 2 times. The third time, he defended himself, and he had been shoving him into a rack of items, stacked up, and knocked him down twice. That man had every right to defend himself. That guy must have been half his age.
It doesn't matter what his age is. He had a right to defend himself. And I saw that video, and, when I first heard about this story, that he had been arrested, I thought, well, maybe he had a gun and they got him on a gun charge. But no, it was a stabbing. I mean, what's the guy supposed to... Listen, New York City is being run by very radical, militant people. The mayor, he's got that lady police commissioner, and you got this DA. It's not a safe place to be. I would get out of New York, and I would advise people not to travel there as a tourist either.
They made him surrender his passport because he was planning a trip to the Dominican Republic, a vacation, and I think he's from there or something. But this guy that attacked him, this young man, was a career.
Yeah, that's right. And when I saw this morning they released him, I thought, oh, wow, they wised up and dropped the charges on the bodega worker. But no, they just lowered the bail. And you know what? He still will have an arrest record for a felony. Even if they toss this, he'll still have to put down on every application that he's been arrested for the rest of his life.
And one more thing on that Prime Minister Abe that was...
Yep.
He was running for office again. I just heard, this was on Fox and Friends this morning, that it was a Japanese Navy vet that killed him.
That's right. I heard that. Yeah, I heard that. Listen, I got to run for a break, but Jeff from Maine, thanks for the call. Yeah, good information there. Listen, we're going to take our break. I'm Brian Craig. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Open phones today, as it always is on Friday. Back right after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Do you suffer from neuropathy, back pain, shoulder pain, or osteoarthritis? Stop the suffering and stop the pain. Call Lighthouse Medical Center, 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation when you mention you heard them on the radio. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. Online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
You've seen the ads on TV, and you've heard your friends tell you about MyPillow. MyPillow is guaranteed the most comfortable pillow you will ever own. Right now at MyPillow.com, when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, buy one MyPillow, get one for free. But you have to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com for this incredible offer. Buy one MyPillow, get another one free. Go to MyPillow.com right now. Use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Are you feeling over the hill? Tired? Sluggish? Taking those midday naps? Just not feeling yourself? There is help. If you want to look and feel like you did when you were young, call Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West El Rey and talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy. Take it from me. I'm a patient.
Yeah, Jeff's calls are always good.
561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. And make sure to tell him you heard about him on the radio. A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954 564-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. They will test for both environmental and food allergies. No appointment is necessary. And make sure to mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Indeed, it is on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Before I get back into the issues, I got to tell you, if you listen to my podcast, I talked about this a little bit last night. The last few days, I've not been feeling very well, and I wasn't sure what was wrong with me. And I was having a really difficult time the last 3-4 days, and I couldn't figure out what was going on with me at all. And yesterday was very strange. I was having these weird feelings, these weird symptoms, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I thought, I was talking to Steve after the show yesterday, I'm like, something's off, I don't feel right. And I thought maybe I was just, dealing with like nerves over the launch of the big expansion of the program on Monday, which I'm excited about, of course. But usually, things like that don't bother. I couldn't figure it out. I take 2 prescription medications. I take a prescription medication for cholesterol, because I have high cholesterol, always have. No matter if I was a vegetarian, I'd have high cholesterol. And I take a blood pressure medication. My blood pressure is a little high without it, mainly because of our callers here on the program. And I take it every day. When I get home, I take my medications every day, pretty much like clockwork. And yesterday, after the show, I was feeling so strange. I was having these weird sensations in my body. My arm was like really messed up. I was almost comatose, asleep. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I'm having some other weird feelings. And I was experiencing this while I was on the air yesterday, too, by the way. Actually, all week. But yesterday, during yesterday's show, it was a very difficult show for me. Although Steve said he didn't realize I was having any problems because I hadn't said anything. Yeah, I was having a lot of problems. So when I went to take my medication, I just happened to look at the bottle, which I never do because I've got my medications, my blood pressure medication, my cholesterol medication. I have it on my dresser. And let me look at the bottle. I've been taking the wrong medication. I've been taking another medication that is for something else that I don't need. And I've not been taking my blood pressure medication. And I've been taking this other medication instead of my blood pressure medication for I'm not sure how many days, maybe a week. And this other medication is for something else entirely, and it's for a condition, and it's for something that I don't have. So I've been missing my blood pressure medication for a week, which means my blood pressure's been high probably, and I've been taking this other medication because I never look at the bottles. There's the bottle. I just take them out, dump it in my hand, take the medication. And luckily, by yesterday afternoon, finally, the other medication was out of my system. And no, it was not Viagra, people. I'm not going to tell you what the prescription was for. If it was Viagra, people would know because I'd be walking around showing everybody all the time. No, but Oh man, so by yesterday afternoon, it was finally out of my system. And today is the first day all week that I have really truly felt myself. But I'm glad I found out. I'm glad I looked at the bottle, because I could have been taking the wrong medication for, I don't know, for however long, and God only knows what would have been going on. It happens. I'm sure people do that all the time. I've heard of people like taking a double dose of the medication, or missing a day, of course, but taking another medication, missing my other one. So if I've sounded strange this week, Steve says that he couldn't even tell, and so did my wife, okay, because I was talking to her about it, and I even went on YouTube and watched a little bit of the last couple days of shows to see, and I don't think, I guess you can't tell. It's just something I was feeling. So I feel I'm back to normal today. I'm clear-headed. I have none of these weird symptoms, and it's just bizarre. Oh my goodness. I know. Hey, what are you gonna do, right? It's life. It happens. It's just we don't always share everything that happens to. It's really scary when you think about it, because you do something like that, you can. So I learned a lesson. Oh man. All right. So let me get back to the issues, and there certainly are a lot of them to talk about. I don't know. I guess kind of in a way I'm apologizing if I've been weird the last few days. You guys can let me know if I sounded okay the last few days, or if I sounded strange, because I felt strange, especially yesterday. All right. There's a new scam that's going on by the Never Trumpers. Have you heard about this? Ready for Ron, the Ron being Ron DeSantis. This, there's a petition being circulated, a draft Ron DeSantis for president petition. Have you seen this? They've got an ad that's running on television. I'm going to play the ad in a little bit. Let me tell you, these Never Trumpers are lowlives. They're worse than Democrats. They really are. They're worse than Democrats. We'll talk about that as we go on. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Mike from Boca.
Hey, Mike.
Brian, did you do yourself a favor and throw the bottle away when you found out you were taking the wrong pill?
Yes. The wrong medication has been properly disposed of. But I've been taking this other medication for something else that I don't need. I don't have the thing. Yeah, I take a blood pressure medicine, and I never miss it, but I know before I took it, I used to feel terrible, but it's a great drug. Another thing, I just want to talk about politics outside of the U.S. We all know that Boris resigned yesterday, and MSNBC, such moron thing. Their main headline was, Piper's movement is over. Well, that's not true, because the reason why he resigned is because all his people are conservatives, and they left him because he was a weakling. He was a weakling. And Nigel Farage actually talked about it on Newsmax, and he said, once, and I already knew this because I've been watching. We've all been watching. Once Boris got COVID, after he got it, he was a changed man. He turned weak. He had all this crazy COVID policy. Well, yeah, after I was a big supporter of Boris Johnson when he first came in. You're right. After he got COVID, I guess he was close to death, and he didn't face it very well, and he became like a globalist lunatic. It was like having Tony Blair back.
Yeah, and May Prime Minister Shinzo, rest in peace, he was assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird for one man to step back as a weakling, and we have another man who was a strong, very strong pro-American, pro-Japanese minister, and now he has.
Well, I know everybody on the air today is going to pretend to be an expert in Japanese politics. No one knows, okay? They're all reading Wikipedia right now, trying to act like they're up to speed. I mean, I don't know why the former prime minister was assassinated by this Navy vet over there, but I know he had a good relationship with President Trump, and President Trump liked him, so that means he was all right in my book. But the reality of the situation with Boris Johnson is I don't believe this story that they forced him to resign over this minister he appointed that was coming on to guys drunk in a gay bar. I don't buy that. There's more to it than that. And what it is, I don't know.
One more thing, stay hydrated.
Oh yes, I've got water here and everything else. I have cleansed myself of the other prescription. Oh my goodness. Hey Mike, I got to run for a break, but thanks for the call. All right, our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio for 45 years. That's right, since 1977. We'll be back right after this quick break.
Wake up and smell the truth. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Morning 6 to 9 on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9. Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community. Have a laugh with some funny memes. And keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Happy Friday, everybody. A hot summertime humid day today with highs in the low 90s and a chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. That trend persists throughout the weekend. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
True Oldies. Traffic check.
In Boca Raton this morning, we have a multi-vehicle crash blocking two.
Yeah, I was having strange symptoms, man. Yesterday, my wife and I, we have lunch together every day, right? And we had lunch, and then after lunch, I was like, is when I take my medication, and I just felt so strange. It just was like, I for a second, I thought I was like having a heart attack. I was feeling so weird. I'm glad I found out, because I could have been taking that wrong stuff for however long.
You probably don't think they exist, but one does.
Remember, Barry's at 7:45 today.
7:45.
Yeah, 7:45 on Friday.
What I came in for.
Yeah.
Because I wrote down 8:45.
I think we got our timing pretty set. I think we're good to go.
Here's the official mechanic of the Steve Kane Show.
So I'm kind of waiting like 5 seconds. I've been counting, with the rejoin.
I detected it. It's working fine.
Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show.
This is our last day before we start networking with the other stations. So we finally got our rhythm down with the breaks, taking them on time and everything, and the rejoins. And when we come back from the break, as I was talking about 5 seconds, I got to give like a 5-second window so the other station has a little time to play with, getting us back on.
Okay, that's and the answer to the question, when do you sell, is really goes back to.
And luckily, Rich, our board op, he was Steve's board op before I knew Steve. So we've known each other for 30 years. So that helps us. Got a bit of a, we know each other a little bit. We haven't worked together that whole time. We had a big gap in between, but we've known each other since 91, 90.
Changed dramatically because we had 25% interest rates all of a sudden. The government said
our radio station has a van now too, which I'm really excited about.
That reason for owning gold then changed, and we dramatically told our customers in 1980, sell your gold, sell.
It's just I don't have as much time to. With our old schedule, when I was running the breaks, I could go to the men's room anytime I wanted. I would, but now I'm on a schedule. I can't go when I want now. The only break that's really long enough for me to go to the men's room would be the bottom of the hour.
Regardless of what the price is doing. Historically, we've always said at least 5%. At this particular time, we recommend much higher percentage of our assets being gold, silver, and platinum. So the reason for buying it will determine when to sell it. If that reason changes or is fulfilled, that's the time.
No, Kathy did not make this shirt.
It must go with the fact that you understand that gold is the only real money in the world. It is the only thing that has no IOUs or attached to it. It is an insurance policy, and it is a hedge against inflation, and it's the only real money that will maintain its buying power for you in the long term.
Don't say who, but is there anyone in the chat room that does not know who this is on this shirt? Don't say who it is. Let's see if anybody doesn't know who it is.
877-5010 or go to the website at williamyoungerman.com.
Don't spend thousands of dollars on a fancy hotel suite when you can feel 5-star luxury in your very own home. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my Pillow bathrobe. It's the most comfortable robe I've ever worn. Made with luxurious cotton, it comes in men's and women's in a huge variety of colors. And right now, you can order yours for
Hey, you'd be surprised. If I talked to liberals, they wouldn't know.
at checkout at mypillow.com or call 1-800-716-4879.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires.
This is the shirt I usually wear when I go to Trump rallies, because nobody else has this shirt. Everyone's like blown away by it when I go to the Trump rallies. They love it.
My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Do you suffer from neuropathy, back pain? 6642-754-222-6642. Online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Welcome back. Okay, so let me get to this. So there's a new TV ad running, and there's a website, Ready for Ron. Draft DeSantis for president. Sign the petition. I'll play the ad in a moment. I don't know who's behind this, other than specifically, but it's like the Lincoln Project, probably, the Never Trumpers, trying to cause this MAGA division that we are not going to let happen. You know, we love President Trump and we love Ron DeSantis, and they're using that against us. They're attempting to use it against us. And you're going to see a lot of people talking about this draft DeSantis for president. And, you know, Ron DeSantis will be a great president in 2028 after President Trump's second term. I agree with that. And, you know, if President Trump was in the White House today, DeSantis would be the man. But President Trump is not. So Ron DeSantis has to wait. And I know people are out there saying that Ron DeSantis is secretly behind this. There is no way Ron DeSantis has any connection to this draft DeSantis for president petition. There is no way. It's too dishonest. And Governor Ron DeSantis, he's a great governor. He's the best governor Florida has ever had. And I really mean that. He got us through COVID. We've had good governors. Jeb Bush was a very good governor. And a lot of people don't like Jeb, and he changed after he was governor and made a fool out of himself when he was running against President Trump. But when Jeb Bush was governor, he became governor in '98. He was a very, very good governor. He really was. So we've had some great governors, but Ron DeSantis is the best governor ever. He really truly is. And of course we love him, and MAGA love him nationwide. And the Never Trumpers, these Lincoln Project Never Trumpers, know how much we love Ron DeSantis, and they're trying to use that and they're trying to get a dialogue going that, it's time to move on from Trump, or people are tired of Trump. Really? If people are tired of Trump, why is he having full houses? Why does he have events and rallies where the crowd size is limited only by the fire codes? He's having this incredible, massive Trump rally in Alaska tomorrow, which I'll be watching that all day. I mean, Alaska? Man, I don't know. Is it outside or inside? And what is the weather like during the day? Because the rally, it says 4 in the afternoon. What is the weather like in Anchorage, Alaska this time of year? I don't know. But I hope it's outside with a beautiful backdrop. But it doesn't matter if it's inside and looks like every other arena we've all been in. It'll be great. A Trump rally in Alaska. People are not tired of Donald Trump. I know they want you to think that, these Never Trumpers, but it's not true. So this is the ad they're running. Listen to this. The Ready for Ron DeSantis TV spot.
If it ever comes to America, it'll
kind of the anchor of liberalism.
The left does not want to honor our freedoms, and we have a responsibility to fight back on all fronts.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.
We will be standing our ground. We'll be holding that line. We are not going to back down. We have only begun to fight.
To beat Biden, America needs a fighter. America needs Ron DeSantis. Visit readyforron.com. Ready for Ron paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Yeah, Okay, and let me tell you, the never-Trumpers that are behind this fake draft Ron DeSantis movement, they are some clever guys. Listen to this, okay? This is on their website, readyforron.com. America is in grave danger from the radical left and their failed socialist woke policies. No doubt about that. That's true. The America First agenda must be revived. Governor Ron DeSantis is the next great American president, like Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump, who will turn our country around. Now, notice how they do this, these never-Trumper Lincoln Project. If it's not the Lincoln Project, they're Lincoln Project types. I mean, look how they're doing this, right? They're complimenting Donald Trump in here to trick you. We must organize now. We cannot wait and let the left win. I am ready for Ron. Let Ron know I'm behind him and want to join his team, and then they ask you to sign up. I don't trust any of this. And, it's really a terrible thing because, what they want us to do, they're not, it's not just divide MAGA. And, because a lot of times when there's a primary and it's pretty open, like when you don't have an incumbent candidate and it's kind of like an open primary. What I mean by that is a Republican primary, but you have a lot of people in there. People pick their guy. Like before Trump came down the escalator for the first run in 2015, I thought I'd be backing Scott Walker because Scott Walker he survived that Obama recall attempt. Remember that? And that was pretty cool. And that he took that on and won. I thought that was awesome. And then President Trump came down the escalator. I mean, I was supporting President Trump back in 2011, okay, to run in, So I've been a Trump guy for president for a long time. But when you have a primary without an incumbent, people have their teams, right? Like if Trump wasn't in that primary in 2015, you would have had Scott Walker people, Jeb people, Ted Cruz people, and that's fine, and it's fun and games. And then you have, the primaries are over, we get a nominee, and we all join together. That's not what they're doing here. They're not just trying to divide MAGA. They're trying to get people to take a stand and be critical of Donald Trump. And they're trying to get people to be critical of Ron DeSantis. And as much as these never-Trumpers are propping up, these never-Trumpers and these Democrats in the media, as much as they're propping up Ron DeSantis, okay, don't buy any of it. The second Ron DeSantis were to get the nomination, that'd be the end of it. He'd be the worst thing that's ever happened. That's all you would hear about. If you notice in all the Roe v. Wade talk, they're not going after DeSantis too much. In fact, I have not seen a national reporter challenge Ron DeSantis on the Roe v. Wade because they don't want to be critical of him right now. They want to promote him as the reasonable candidate. They used to do this back in the early 2000s with John McCain. The Democrats were pushing John McCain on us, and we eventually got him, unfortunately, right? What a loser he was. And before he had the nomination, they would tell us he is the reasonable Republican. He's the kind of Republican that the middle-of-the-road people can vote for. And if the Republican Party wants to reach to the masses, and John McCain gets the nomination. I'm not making this up. He was on The View, and Whoopi Goldberg asked John McCain if he was going to return African Americans back to slavery. Okay? So as soon as they get the nomination, they turn on them. So don't buy this BS that the media and these never-Trumper Lincoln Project types are pushing about our great governor, Ron DeSantis. As soon as he gets the nomination in 2028, they're going to turn on this guy. Or if President Trump chooses him to be vice president, they're going to turn on him on a dime. And you're going to find all kinds of crazy, terrible things said about him. All right? I just wish they would be honest and say that they're never Trumpers and we don't want them. I mean, if they did that, that would be fine. At least they'd be being honest, not this dishonest thing. And another thing that people are saying, there's a lot of this ready for Ron nonsense that they have all over the place. They're saying, well, Floridians don't want to lose him as governor. We're going to lose him anyway. We have term limits in Florida. You can only be governor for 2 terms. So we're going to lose him anyway. And we've got 2 pretty established senators, so he's not going to go to the Senate. So, we very much want him to be President Trump's running mate for vice president. And a lot of times they also say, oh no, Ron DeSantis is a leader, he's not a follower, he would not take the VP slot. That's not the case, okay? President Trump's second term, his non-consecutive term, will be his last term. He can't run again. If President Trump were running for his first term, I would agree with that. Ron DeSantis wouldn't want to leave the governorship to be vice president for 8 years. But to be Trump's vice president in 2024, he's guaranteed the nomination and the presidency. So, that it's a different thing. It's not like his first term. So it's a whole other thing. So don't buy any of this and don't fall for the divide. Okay? Don't fall for this attempt at a divide that they're bringing us. Good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Louisiana.
Hey, Louisiana, what's on your mind? I only get, Louisiana, I'm up against a break. We don't have much time, so go ahead and start, but I'll hold you over if it's good.
Oh, well, I just want to say, I was listening to you just now. I just happened to listen to you just now. Ron DeSantis is not going to run for vice president. That's not he's a leader, bro. He's not going to run for vice president. That's beneath him.
Yeah, beneath him? Oh, so you're praising Ron DeSantis. See what I mean about the Democrats, these never Trumpers? You're praising Ron DeSantis. You're saying he's a good leader.
Yeah, but I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is Ron DeSantis is no good. But
he's no good. All right, Louisiana, I'm up against the break. Okay, take it. Thanks for the call. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We will take our break. We'll be back right after this. Thanks for the call. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We will take our break. We'll be back right after this.
Bringing the heat to your radio every morning. It's the Steve Kane Show on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Women, menopause is no fun.
See what I mean? Proof of exactly what I was telling you.
Mitch Matez at the
right?
Boca Station West Del Rey. Hormone replacement pellet therapy will 100% stop and reverse the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone. Night sweats gone. Vaginal dryness reversed. You'll get your sex drive back too. Call Dr. Mitch Matez for a free consultation. 561.
Couldn't have come at a better time. It absolutely points out what you were talking
Exactly.
about.
Yeah.
Sabotage.
Exactly.
Our dogs and cats want 4 things: food, water, our love, and a My Pillow pet bed. And let's face it, when they get older, they really need that comfort. Available in 3 sizes and in many different colors. And your furry family member will sleep as well as you do because the My Pillow pet bed has that same patented fill inside as the pillows. Order your My Pillow pet bed for 50% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, or call 1-800-716-4879.
Do you suffer from neuropathy, back pain, shoulder pain, or osteoarthritis? Stop the suffering and stop the pain. Call Lighthouse Medical Center, 754-222-6642 for a no-charge.
Bruh, isn't that what they say like in Hawaii, like when I watch Dog the Bounty Hunter? Always like bro, brah, bro, whatever you say it.
754-222-6642. Online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Colorado, and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. They will test for both environmental and food allergies. No appointment is necessary. And make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
No.
This is Julian Rubenstein from The Income Show. Listen to my show at 7:30 every Sunday morning, or listen anytime on the web at www.americanasset.com, where you will learn about structured notes earning approximately 8% interest income and our permanent portfolio strategy that strives to provide income growth and protection. And you can always call my office at 561-955-8500 to make an appointment to meet with me personally, Julian Rubenstein. Have a great day.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Open phones on Fridays at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. What, did Louisiana not make my case, or what? I told you. You got the Democrats, Lincoln Project, Never Trumpers, praising Ron DeSantis. It's a setup. It's a trap. Anyone know what that's from? Admiral Akbar. That's right. That's right. Hero of the Battle of Yavin. Just what I told you. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Brittany Grenier, this WNBA player in Russia. I was talking about this on my podcast last night, and I woke up today. I got a lot of messages from podcast listeners, so I want to hear your thoughts on them. Okay. Brittany Grenier, she just pled guilty, and they're going to send her to a gulag, a Russian gulag. And she looks terrified. You see these pictures of her. Does she not? She looks like she's terrified. I understand. And they have this lady Russian police officer who's handcuffed to her at the wrist, and she's just dragging her around very violently. I mean, it's awful. And how many years is she facing? 10 years? 20 years? She's facing a long stretch. And she's probably too tall to even stand up in the jail cells over there. And obviously, she's a WNBA player. She is a professional athlete in the mold of Colin Kaepernick. She's one of these hate America. America was founded on racism and all of this. Taking a knee. Although when she takes a knee, she's taller than the average human because she's one of these freaks that play professional basketball. And she's been involved in a lot of this anti-American athlete protest movement. She's been very active in it. With all that being said, I feel like this is a minority opinion among MAGA. I want her released and brought back here to the United States. You know, she's learning a little bit about what America's about right now, isn't she? Yeah, we have a real justice system where you are presumed innocent until proven guilty, not the other way around. And while she talks about systemic racism and all this nonsense in America, she's learning where the real racism is, and that is outside of this country. And in Russia, they do not like black people. They are racist in Russia. In fact, they're racist in most parts of the country. The United States is the most diverse country in the world. Not just ethnically, but religious, everything. I mean, this is the most diverse country there is, and we're very accepting of it. And we've got these spoiled babies, these spoiled professional athletes that get paid money to play a kid's game who just feel like they're victims of society and that America's a racist country. And I'm sure she's getting a taste of what real racism is right now. But I want to return home. She's an American citizen. Just because she's a Kaepernick, anti-American, take-a-knee, cop-hating, radical BLMer doesn't mean I want her to go to a gulag for CBD oil. My goodness. You know, I mean, if she had, like, cocaine or heroin or crack or something, I'd say, okay, you know, that's crazy. But CBD oil? You can get like CBD oil at the gas station, right? It seems a little heavy. And she's obviously being really mistreated over there. You can see it. Now, they send her off to the Russian gulag, and she's going to be abused without mercy. Because she's black, she's I don't know how tall. She's way over 6 feet tall, and she's an American. And I think it's unlikely that she would survive the Gulag, the Russian prison. Do you not agree? Do you think what are her chances of survival? I think they're very low. And I personally would like to rise above this. You know, if President Trump were in office, this wouldn't be happening. And Biden, you know, Biden's going to let her rot and die in a Russian prison. And I don't want to see an American mistreated that way. It's not like she went over there and did a hardcore crime. CBD oil? Are you kidding me? It was stupid. I don't know. I don't think I buy her story that she didn't know about it. But so what? It's CBD oil. It wasn't even a joint. And even if it was a joint, I know she hated Trump, but we need to rise above that and come together as Americans on this. So I want to hear your thoughts on this. Brittany Grenier, should she go to the Gulag, do 10 years, or do you think Biden should get her returned to the United States? I don't think he has the juice to do it, but he definitely should make an effort to have her returned to the United States. And where, by the way, is Black Lives Matter on this? Where's Colin Kaepernick? And if you think she should sit over there and rot and be abused, she's going to be abused because she's an American, she's black, and she's a freak, okay, body size. Okay, that's it. Do you really want to see an American abused because you disagree with their politics? She very well could come back to this country a very changed person. Oh, and by the way, she's also gay, which is illegal in Russia. I forgot about that. She very well could come back to America and have an awakening. This has happened before. Some of this on my podcast last night. Steve and I were friends with Eldridge Cleaver and Anthony Bryant from the Black Panthers. Eldridge Cleaver is very, very famous. He was involved in that big Black Panther ambush of police officers in Oakland, California. And Tony Bryant was a Black Panther who hijacked a plane to Cuba. And Tony Bryant hijacked a plane to Cuba because this was back in the 60s because the Black Panthers were communist and he thought Castro was going to welcome him. Castro put him in prison for 12 years and he came back to America, and this Black Panther was a conservative Republican. Similar with Eldridge Cleaver, by the way. And she very well could come over here and have a great awakening about the true situation involving race and racism in the United States. But regardless of that, I don't want to see an American citizen abused in a foreign jail, foreign gulag over CBD oil. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good morning.
Yes, you're on the air. What's on your mind?
Oh, yes. Yeah, the real question is, where is the LGBT community?
Yeah, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's not, especially the LGBT white community. They should be able to be, stand behind her and say something about it.
Most of these Americans that get jammed up in other countries do stupid things. Like that one American kid, Warmbier, that President Trump got returned and he died shortly after because of the abuse he got in North Korea. He vandalized a poster on a wall in North Korea. Any American who goes to North Korea or Iran, if they're not a spy, they're stupid, a stupid liberal, and they get themselves jammed up. That doesn't mean that we want them to sit over there and be abused and tortured because they're a stupid anti-American liberal.
Well, I do agree. If Trump was in office, he would have done something about that.
Oh, she'd be back.
Remember? Yeah, because there was a rapper.
Yeah, that ASAP Rocky guy.
ASAP Rocky, yeah, I think he was over there in Sweden, and Trump make sure he threatened their economy or something.
Well, yeah, he threatened. Yeah, he did. He made some economic threats, and they returned him.
Yep. So we definitely need Trump back. I mean, we want Trump back. I mean, Trump got to come back.
I mean, this girl's an idiot. I mean, she takes a knee. She staged a protest walkout at a game. She disrespects our flag. But looking at the terror in her body, I think she's really seeing how great America is right now. I would hope.
Oh, definitely. Most definitely. I mean, I visited other countries and I'm like, oh my God, I'm coming. I need to come back home.
Yeah, maybe President Trump and Jared Kushner could reach out to Putin and get her released. That would be amazing.
Yeah, but well, I guess Trump probably said let her get a little bit more abuse so she can appreciate America more.
Well, you know they're going to abuse her. She's black. She's gay. She's like 6'8", and she's an American. She's not gonna survive her sentence. There's no way. She's weak. Look at her. She's weak.
Yeah, she is. She is. I feel bad for her. But it's funny. Joe Biden, he's everything Trump was warning us about.
Yeah.
But if he would become president, which he's proven us right. He's proven himself right about Joe.
That's right. Yeah. In fact, it's even worse than we could have predicted. President Trump told us it was going to be awful, and it's getting. Yeah, it is. But we didn't think it would happen so quickly. It's almost like somebody flipped a switch on Inauguration Day.
Yeah, and you notice the black community, we letting the Democrat Party burn down to the ground. I'm so glad that in a way, I'm kind of glad Joe Biden became president because it awakened the black community, very much. So now we decided, hey, you know what, it's time to let this party burn down to the ground, and that's why their numbers are low. And if you notice, the only support of Democrats from the black community are elderly and the LGBT.
Yeah, and the crooked preachers that get kickbacks on all the fundraisers.
Right. So that's why whenever you're looking at you look on the media, Democrat supporters, there's some elders. They're elderly. I mean, I get that. They want that. They want that free health care just to give their the regimen of life they have. To
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate how our elders, they're not thinking about the young generation. It's so unfortunate.
Well, the older generation of blacks have been brainwashed by the Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson era, and they don't understand. They're lost. They're beyond help at this point. They're not going to change. You can't. They're not going to all of a sudden wake up.
They're not. But you know what? It's less of them and there's more of us, so that's why the Democrat Party is burning down to the ground. And Trump 2024, baby.
That's right. Hey, listen, thank you for the call. Yes. Yeah, I remember a time when it was like unusual. Like once a year, you'd get a call from a black Republican. It used to be that way. And be like, wow, a black Republican. Once a year. Twice a year if you got lucky. And now it's just common. Very common. All right. It is open phones, always on Friday. I'm Brian Craig. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number toll-free, 888-GO-KANE1. Back after this. It is open phones, always on Friday. I'm Brian Craig. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number toll-free, 888-GO-KANE1. Back after this.
Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Happy Friday, everybody. A hot summertime humid day today with highs in the low 90s and a chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. That trend persists throughout the weekend. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
True Oldies. Traffic check.
Good news in the Palm Beaches. The major expressways are now crash-free. We do have an earlier accident in Boca Raton that's still blocking the right shoulder, but causing no delay on 95 heading northbound after Yamato Road. The service streets are crash-free at this time, and the turnpike is up to speed. We're seeing some light volume on Military Trail north and southbound, passing Melaleuca Lane and Lake Worth Road. This report is sponsored by Air America. Put your trust in the red, white, and blue. Air America. For a limited time, Air America will give you a free service call with a qualifying AC repairs. Visit airamerica.com for details. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News update.
ABC News now. I'm Todd Ed. Japan's former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was shot in the back while campaigning for a Liberal Democratic Party candidate Friday in Nara, Japan's public television. NHK reports Abe was holding his chest when he collapsed with his shirt smeared with blood and later showed no vital signs. A reporter with Japanese broadcaster NHK on the scene.
They heard 2 shots, and it seems to be rather larger than a pistol. So
it was a homemade shotgun.
That a shotgun-like gun was used.
A suspect in his 40s is in custody. Mississippi's last abortion clinic in Jackson is now closed, and with all appeals to keep it open having failed, all abortions now, by choice, are outlawed. The White House says President Biden will speak Friday morning on protecting access to reproductive health care services. And UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson stepped down Thursday over several scandals that included lying to Parliament, but Johnson intends to stay on until a new leader is chosen. This is ABC News.
I'll bring you up in a second. Kim, can you see if we have
Steve Kane Show.
Desmona's thrift store.
There. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Itchy Brain, $5 super chat. Thank you. Happy Friday to you as well. Everyone, thank Itchy Brain for that super chat. Yeah, I am totally back to normal today. I was really not feeling good the last few days.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
The new
Here we go.
95.3 and 96.9 is here. WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station.
I love these people.
Now celebrating 45 years. It's the longest running radio show in Florida.
We are on the air.
The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Indeed, it is. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Lots going on in the news. It is open phones on Friday, of course, at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. And, yeah, the Prime Minister of Japan, well, former Prime Minister of Japan, has been assassinated, shot with a homemade shotgun. And Japan has even stricter gun control laws than the liberals fantasize in America. And still, a guy made a shotgun at home. I've never heard of a homemade shotgun. I saw what looked like a photograph of it. It's a pretty big-looking weapon. Never heard of a homemade shotgun. But they got them in Japan because they're illegal. Another example of gun control not working. All right, let's go to the phones. 1-888-GO-KANE 1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
You know, there you go. If people want to do something nasty, they'll figure a way to do it. And there's nothing, no law can stop crazy people from doing what they want to do. And the only thing we can do is try to protect ourselves and be armed, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The other thing, did you see Tucker last night?
I saw some clips of it, but no, I didn't see it. What happened?
They had this girl from the Netherlands saying that they're stopping farmers from growing their farm, and they want to reduce the emissions from cows by 50% because of global warming.
Yeah.
How stupid can people be? When is somebody that's rich going to go out and make a video showing and get all the top people in the world to say there is no such thing as global warming? To stop this nonsense. Because for what this lady said was that they know it's not global warming. They just want to take land away from farmers. So they're using this dumb excuse of global warming to steal the land from people.
Oh, yeah. Well, they don't have, it's not like America. They have limited land. It's the Netherlands, right?
Supposedly is the second largest exporter of food.
Yeah. After the United States, the Netherlands is the second largest exporter of food after America? Like food that they grow? That seems crazy to me. I don't know if I believe that.
I thought, unless I read wrong. But
Nah, I can't believe that. That's hard to believe. More than, it's hard. If it's true, it's true. I don't know.
Whatever it is, even if they're not, stopping people from growing food.
Well, the thing about the global warming fell apart years ago. Everyone knows it's a racket now. It fell apart because it's an observable fraud.
The world is water, and they're worried about some cows, a couple of cows.
The Obamas bought beachfront property. Their mansion is on the ocean. So if the seas are rising, and Obama is a proponent of this craziness, why did he buy a beach mansion? Why didn't he buy a place like in Ohio? Because when the seas rise, that might be the future beachfront.
Yeah, or where there's no people, some mountain range somewhere where there's nice clean air, maybe.
Yeah, hey, listen, it's a big money scam. Everybody knows this. All right. Take care. All right, conservative. Did you guys see this story about the Emmett Till people? This is, Emmett Till is, I don't know, Emmett Till is kind of the beginning of the civil rights movement, the modern civil rights movement. He's you've heard the story. There's been variations of the story told over the years. They used to say that he was lynched by Democrats, of course, but that Emmett Till was lynched because he whistled at a white woman. There's other stories that he was accused of sexually assaulting a woman, and they lynched him. And it's god-awful what happened to Emmett Till. After Emmett Till died, though, the civil rights activist of the day put his body on display for quite some time, traveling around to different events, and used that to get people interested in the civil rights movement. And it was a big turning point. Emmett Till was murdered. He was lynched by Democrats. And I'll tell you this, he was a young man, so he probably wasn't very politically active. I think he was 14 or 15 at the time, if I remember correctly. But I promise you, his family were Republicans. That's right. Emmett Till's family were Republicans. And all the blacks in the South were Republicans. And Emmett Till was lynched by Democrats. There's no doubt about it. Well, a lynch mob got together. A lynch mob of blacks. Listen to this. Protesters are in search of Carolyn Bryant Dunham, who is in her 80s. She's believed to live in Raleigh, North Carolina, after an arrest warrant from 1955 was discovered in Mississippi. She is the woman who was the accuser of Emmett Till, claiming that he whistled at her kangaroo Democrat jury. The pair later admitted guilt, but couldn't be prosecuted because of double jeopardy. They'd been acquitted. On Wednesday, a lynch mob of civil rights protesters went to 3 addresses listed under her name in search of her, but didn't find her. One of the addresses was a senior living facility in Raleigh. The police were called. The facility was locked down. There's video of the event. I'm going to play some audio. They look like new Black Panthers, some of them, and they're very intimidating, going into this retirement home, searching for her and questioning residents. Let me play this. This is yesterday. These are it's really a lynch mob, is what it is, going around. They were going through old records, and they found this arrest warrant from this woman back in 55 that was never served for whatever reason. And this audio that I have here, these are the Emmett Till lynch mob. It's really, when you hear this, they're very threatening. I mean, they're young men and women. They're going into a senior facility with very elderly, weak people, and even the women who work there seem to be old too, terrorizing these people. And, the lynch mob of Democrats that went after Emmett Till, that was god-awful. It really was. The only, we can look back and say that Emmett Till was part of changing America, and that's a good thing. But he was murdered by a Democrat lynch mob. And here we are yesterday in Raleigh, we have another Democrat lynch mob. The only difference between Emmett Till's Democrat lynch mob and the lynch mob yesterday looking for this woman, they're both Democrats, but the skin color, right? Listen to this. This is frightening. So this is the lynch mob in the retirement home yesterday.
All right, y'all be on the lookout now. Y'all gonna be looking for Carolyn. What's her name? Do I know what she looks like? No. Bring up that picture on that cell phone. Bring up that picture. Bring up the flyer. Bring up the flyer. We'll show you what she looks like. Right here. Here it is. Right here. Sorry, guys. Yes. That's who we're looking for. What did she do? The false accuser of Emmett Till, the one that said that Emmett Till had sexually assaulted her and got Emmett Till murdered. She lives in this building.
No, she don't live in this. She's in a nursing home. This is not a nursing home. Which nursing home? I don't know. The television never gave the name. I've heard that 3 or 4 different times on the television. She's in a nursing home.
Oh, man. So they got a lynch mob looking for this woman in her 80s. And let me tell you, I don't believe that if she told her brother and her husband that he assaulted her or whistled at her, she was lying. There's no way a 14-year-old young black man in 55, Mississippi whistled at a white woman. There's just no way. There's just no way. And I think where that story came is these lunatics in that Democrat lynch mob back in the 50s felt that if they told that story, that it would justify what they did. That's how far gone those Democrats were in the Deep South back in the 50s. But do you think they should just leave this old lady alone? I think they should leave the old lady alone. Come on. But they want to bring up that old stuff again, and they got a whole movement now about this. I'm sure there's a lot of fundraising going on, and the civil rights activist organizations like these jokers, they've accomplished everything and won, and they just can't let it go. They want to keep fighting. They want to keep fighting and acting like it's still 1955. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll take our break and be back right after this. 888-465-2631. We'll take our break and be back right after this.
They're the most polarizing talk show hosts in all of
let it go.
Florida.
I say let it go.
Show with Brian Craig, morning 6 to 9 on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
You've seen the ads on TV, and you've heard your friends tell you about MyPillow. MyPillow is guaranteed the most comfortable pillow you will ever own. Right now at MyPillow.com, when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, buy one MyPillow, get one for free. But you have to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com for this incredible offer. Buy one MyPillow, get another one free. Go to MyPillow.com right now. Use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Do you suffer from neuropathy, back pain, shoulder pain, or osteoarthritis? Stop the suffering and stop the pain. Call Lighthouse Medical Center, 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation when you mention you heard them on the radio. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. Online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. They will test for both environmental and food allergies. No appointment is necessary. And make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Are you feeling over the hill? Tired? Sluggish? Taking those midday naps? Just not feeling yourself? There is help. If you want to look and feel like you did when you were young, call Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West El Rey and talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy. Take it from me. I'm a
Oh, yeah, it is a big day.
561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. And make sure to tell him you heard about him on the radio.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Opinions are like apples. Everyone's got one. Get yours in The Steve Kane Show.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since, that's right, 1977, celebrating 45 years this year on the radio. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631 on this open phone Friday edition of the program. To me, the biggest story today is this major crime that's been uncovered by Joe Biden. And this one's a big one. And I believe this is the biggest financial scandal ever committed by a public official in this country. I really mean that. I'm not saying that just because I don't like Joe Biden. I really truly mean that. And this is the story. And no one is reporting the story properly. They're laying everything on Hunter, just like his dad does. Joe Biden, here's the headline in Breitbart. Joe Biden sold 950,000, almost a million, barrels of oil from the United States Strategic Petroleum Reserve to a CCP-owned oil company with links to Hunter Biden's firm over there, that investment firm that Hunter's a part of. Now, the CCP, that's the Chinese Communist Party. So here we got record gas prices. I mean, how much did you pay for gas today? Oh, my goodness. I mean, it's crazy prices. Crazy prices. I had to get gas this morning on the way in. Oh, my goodness. It's crazy. I know. And it affects the price of everything. So while we're dealing with record high gas prices, far beyond anything we imagine we would ever be paying for gas in our lifetime, really. I mean, whoever thought gas prices would be this high ever? I mean, this is like if you're watching a science fiction movie or something that takes place in the future, they go by a gas station, the gas prices are this high. That's what it's like. It really is. Just to make kind of a joke that they're so high. That's what we're dealing with right now. And the oil from the Strategic Oil Reserve, that's a national security reserve in case there's a problem, an international crisis, a war, an attack. OPEC decides to shut down production or something, right? That's what that's for. That's for the security of the United States. The purpose of releasing it is to try to bring the price of gas down for us in the United States. But that's not what Joe did. He sold it to China, to a company that is connected to that investment firm of Hunter. And this is what makes this the biggest financial scandal ever in this country. This is not a Hunter Biden-linked firm. This is a Joe Biden-linked firm. Hunter Biden's his money launderer. This is a Joe Biden-linked Chinese firm. So what Joe Biden did was think about this now. He took oil from the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve and sold it to himself. I mean, that's employee theft times infinity. It's treason on top of the financial crimes. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, that's our number. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, Vincent Weatherton. How's it going?
Hey, Vince, what's up?
Yeah, just was chiming in on Biden's corruption, and most of what we're seeing is just them lashing out. They're running out of options. You know, they can't get any money through Ukraine anymore for the most part. You know, they're running out of options on how to get money to keep this corruption going, because it all stops when the money stops. And a lot of what we're seeing is that they tried to pass it through their fiat Congress, but they couldn't even do that. So they had to run it through Ukraine. And now that they're running out of money in Ukraine, they're running out of land to even call Ukraine. they're getting to the point where they have to sell off our assets in order to keep the corruption.
Well, this deal of selling the oil to China, this is money going directly to Joe, and I'll tell you, it's an obvious scam, it's a crime, and it shows some desperation. I mean, why would he take? I mean, that's a big risk that he took.
Well, I got a lot of questions about what actually goes on in Ukraine on the American front of why we took that place over as far as a proxy war when we took it over in their election in 2014. But I mean, we'll never really know the whole extent of what we're dealing with there until this is all over.
No, it's all financial crimes. It's all financial crimes. Whether you're talking about China deals like we're talking about now, whether you're talking about Ukraine, they've all got business going on over there. All of them. Pelosi, all of them have had business going on in Ukraine, and that's what it's about. And it's pretty obvious.
In both respects, with Joe Biden in China and and his son's connection, it's just getting to the point where the tension of the corruption is growing, and they can't negate it anymore. That's why you see Peter Doocy asking questions to this Jean-Pierre, because he's getting to the point where he can't even hide from it,
Well, this story with the oil reserves being sold to this Biden-connected company in China, this is the kind of thing he's good. When the Republicans take over, and we are going to take over both houses, he is going to be impeached big time for a lot of crimes, but in particular, this one's a big one. I mean, that to sell that oil to a company that goes... Everyone knows Hunter Biden is a front man for Joe. Everyone knows this.
To impeach Trump, but I do believe that it was a softening for us to realize that it's not that big of a deal, because he didn't really get charged with anything. But when Joe Biden gets impeached and everybody hears about it and he actually gets charged, if that were to happen, I mean, that softening that they gave the public before is like it's not a big deal, like he walked right through it. It didn't even affect them. You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of anytime Democrats do crime and like this, Democrats always say, well, nothing's going to happen to them. So what are we not supposed to talk about it? I understand that Democrats have complete immunity. I mean, look at the Clintons, right? They sold all of that uranium, American uranium, to the Russian company, right? And here we are on the verge of a war with Russia. If Russia were to launch their missiles, they would be missiles that are powered with American uranium that Hillary Clinton gave them, sold to them. She didn't give them anything. She was crooked.
I mean, all the wisdom in the world, you can have whatever you want to have as far as wit and smart, but when you don't really know what's going on beyond the veil of what these people are capable of, I mean, it's kind of scary. The Georgia Guidestones thing, that might have been them blowing them up and making it seem like it was somebody else, or it could have been somebody else that actually blew it up. But in my opinion, I mean, this is all.
Yeah, but even though the Democrats never face consequences legally, I mean, no one's going to put the Clintons or the Bidens in jail. That's not going to happen. I understand that. Okay, but it doesn't mean that people aren't woken up to what the left are about and how corrupt they are, and we should talk about these things. We shouldn't move on to other things because there's not going to be a prosecution. That's ridiculous.
Us talking about Hillary keeps her from really being able to have that platform to run again, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Her relevant,
That's correct. All right, well, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Vincent Wellington, take care. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Jean-Pierre was asked about this selling the oil from the reserve to China yesterday. Listen, this is Jean-Pierre yesterday.
And then there's a Reuters report out this morning that says that more than 5 million barrels of oil that were released from the emergency oil reserves were exported to Europe and Asia last month, and some of it reportedly was actually heading to China. Is the administration aware of those reports? And does the president mind that some of of this oil that was meant to ease pain for consumers is headed overseas.
I have not seen that report, so I would have to go look into it and see what the truth is in that statement that you just laid out, and see exactly what's happening. I just have not seen that report.
Yeah, well, let's hope there's a follow-up today. That was yesterday. I've not seen that report. It was everywhere yesterday. All right, listen, it's the Steve Kane Radio Show. I'm Brian Craig. Open phones on Fridays at 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. Steve will be joining us at 8. We'll be back after this. Don't go anywhere. Kane 1-888-465-2631. Steve will be joining us at 8. We'll be back after this. Don't go anywhere.
The Steve Kane Show, telling it like it is, whether you like it or not. Oldies 95.3 and 96.9. Have you ever wanted to feel like royalty?
Treasure bath! I'm going to have a treasure bath! Treasure bath!
Join our loyal listener club and sign up today at oldiesouthflorida.com. Once you're a member, you'll be eligible to get special deals. Participate in
When you used the phone the other day, did I see you hit 1 before you hit the area code? No.
I might have, but you don't have to.
Inside information on your favorite artist and great music insights. Visit oldiesouthflorida.com and join the loyal listener club today. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Happy Friday, everybody. A hot summertime humid day today with highs in the low 90s and a chance of thunderstorms.
If you're new here, please subscribe. And everyone, please like the video as well. Liking the video helps a lot, guys. Thank you, by the way, to all the members, including the new members. Thank you so much. I've been so busy the last couple weeks with our expansion. And today's the last day before the big expansion, so...
This report is sponsored by Air America. Put your trust in the red, white, and blue. Air America. For a limited time, Air America will give you a free service call with a qualifying AC repairs. Visit airamerica.com for details. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
An honest auto mechanic. You probably don't think they exist, but one does. Eddie at Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. He works on all makes and models.
I mean, this thing with Biden with the oil reserve to China. I mean, my goodness. If that's not treason, I don't know what treason is.
561-245-8101. And make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
This is Steve Kane. We are here this morning with William Youngerman from William Youngerman, Inc. for our Gold Report. William, how are you?
CB Radio Ghost Talk, new
wanted to ask you,
member to the channel. Welcome, CB Radio Ghost Talk. Check out all the exclusive content, by the way.
When's a good time?
That's available to members only.
When do you sell?
Okay.
Oh, yes, and thank you to the mods, absolutely.
The answer to the question, when do you sell, is really goes back to why did you buy it in the first place? When the reason you bought it is fulfilled, it's time to sell. Or when the reason that you bought it no longer exists.
I'm gonna go over it when we get back, and then once again in the last hour.
And people had bought gold all the way up to that level, and at that time, the reason to own gold changed dramatically because we had 25% interest rates all of a sudden. The government said we will stop inflation.
Oh, thank you. I got my hair cut last week. I got to cut a little shorter than normal,
that reason for owning
just
gold
because
changed, and we
it's so hot in Florida this time of year.
Sell your gold, sell. It's finished for the time being. Okay, that was the reason. Now, some people held on because they said, "No, I want this as my insurance policy." Insurance policy, you don't necessarily buy.
Absolutely, and all the members CB Radio, you get access to all these emojis that my wife made. She added a Carrie Lake emoji the other day. If you go down there and look at the emojis, you'll see you have access to all these emojis.
At this particular time, we recommend much higher percentage of our
Put them
assets
through.
being
See, I'll
gold,
show you.
silver, and platinum.
These are the member emojis that members have access to, and we'll add more as time goes on.
Or is fulfilled, that's the time to sell it. But it must go along with the fact that you understand that gold is the only real money in the world. It is the only thing that has no IOUs or attached to it. It is an insurance policy.
Yeah, she is awesome.
It is a hedge against inflation, and it's the only real money that will maintain its buying power for you in the long term.
Okay, well that answers that question. If the question becomes where, well, I can tell you where. William Youngerman Inc., located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. You can drop by. It's in the Bank of
I've had Carrie Lake on my podcast.
Opposite the Bank of America. You can call William at 1-800-327-5010 or go to the website at williamyoungerman.com.
Don't spend thousands of dollars on a fancy hotel suite when you can feel 5-star luxury in your very own home. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my Pillow bathrobe. It's the most comfortable robe I've ever worn. Made with luxurious cotton. It comes in men's and women's in a huge variety of colors. And right now, you can order yours for 30% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at mypillow.com or call 1-800-716-4879.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier and up to 35% on your electric.
All right, we're coming back.
954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Just 60 seconds and you'll be racing for the phone. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian
Thank you for
Craig.
that super chat. Appreciate that. All right, welcome back. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Our number toll-free 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. A toll-free call from anywhere. On Open Phone Friday. Steve Kane will be joining us at the top of the hour. You know, some of these stories are just, it's hard to believe they're even real, what these wokesters are doing. It really is. This new one about the Army is scary. You know, I remember when gays in the military was being debated. When Bill Clinton ran for president in '92, he said gays would be able to openly serve, and then he got a lot of pushback, so then they did that don't ask, don't tell thing. And then eventually gays are allowed to openly serve. And there were so many activists during that era, Christian activists, that would give us all these warnings about what would happen if gays were allowed to serve in the military. And some of the warnings they gave were pretty extreme. But what's going on in the military today is far beyond even what Pat Robertson's most scary prediction was if gays were allowed to openly serve in the military. And this new rule in the Army is insane. Listen to this. The United States Army, this was probably General Milli Vanilli's idea, right? The United States Army is being instructed during training to shower with transgender members of the opposite sex, including those who have not surgically transitioned. So women will be showering with biological men who say they are now women that still have their penises. That's right. The Biden administration issued an order to the Department of Defense requiring all qualified transgender individuals to be allowed to serve openly in the military, reversing a Trump administration order prohibiting this. Soldiers are allowed to request a change to their gender marker in the Defense Enrollment Eligibility Reporting System, the Department of Defense's massive personnel database that tracks military members. Once the soldier meets the Army standards, which have been greatly reduced, for military service and is stable in their self-identified gender. Following the order, the Army Secretary began implementing the policy change by altering mandatory training to be more inclusive. I'm not making this up. No, this is true. This is the Army. Oh my goodness. A mandatory training presentation includes a slide vignette titled Soldier Unit Training Barracks, Bathrooms, and Showers. It instructs soldiers on how to respond if they encounter a female who is transitioning to a male and accept primitive working conditions. This is in the video they're showing the new soldiers. Following his transition from female to male, which did not include sex reassignment surgery and gender marker changes, a transgender soldier begins using male barracks, bathrooms, and showers. Because he did not undergo a surgical change, the soldier still has female genitalia. Soldiers must accept living and working conditions that are often primitive and characterized by little or no privacy. Understand, anyone may encounter individuals in barracks, bathrooms, or showers with physical characteristics of the opposite sex. Oh my goodness. According to the training slide, inclusive regulations and equal opportunity policies apply to blah, 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 and it goes on. Another slide from the presentation states that a soldier's gender transition is considered complete once the soldier has completed the medical care necessary to achieve stability in the self-identified gender. But the medical care is the medical process identified. I'm confused. I don't know. I just know this, okay? When you're a girl and you're a female soldier and you're in the group shower, there shouldn't be a guy with a penis next to you. And when you're a man and you're in the group shower, there shouldn't be a soldier, a guy next to you with a vagina. Now, I don't know. I remember when the gays in the military was being discussed, they talked about unit cohesion and how disruptive it would be. That is like Ronald Reagan conservatism, having gays openly serve in the military compared to what they're doing now. Now, there is a possibility that young people in the service are so woke, right? The high school age kids, they get out of high school, they join, they're so woke. Maybe this isn't a big deal to them, but I find it hard to believe that it's not a big deal to them. And this whole idea of, I don't know, the integration of people that are of different genders and living conditions like this is just beyond messed up. And, you know, with this going into effect, I would think you would see a massive amount of enlistment from people that are transgender because they want to make a point to it. They want to, you know, you can make a whole career out of that, you know. Do a tour in the military. Just do one enlistment in the military as a transgendered soldier. You could make a whole career out of that. You could write books. You could go on a speaking tour. You could go to gay bars and make speeches and be paid for them. You could make a very good living as a transgendered soldier, sailor or airman, or spaceman if you join the Space Force. You know, the FCC just announced that TikTok is like a national security threat. I'm glad to see President Trump was talking about this. And this whole transgender thing has been spread in so many ways through TikTok. It's done by China. They're doing so, you know, the Chinese with TikTok. I heard the FCC commissioner on last night with Greta Van Susteren on Newsmax, and they're talking about how it's stealing data and financial data, and that's a problem. But what TikTok is also doing is bringing down the readiness of our military through this. This is happening because of TikTok. Infiltrating our school systems. You've seen what libs of TikTok have explored. And this country is under major attack by China in a major propaganda campaign that they are orchestrating through TikTok. And I got to tell you something. You know, what they're doing, first off, they're reducing the pool that the military has to recruit from out of high school. With all these different genders and pronouns and everything that's going on, You know, we were talking yesterday in New York City where they have a major crime problem and there's been a mass exodus. They're lowering the physical requirements. Allowing this type of transgendered service member thing that they're doing, integration going on, is going to weaken the military of the United States. They're doing this with the Army. I don't see them talking about doing it with the other branches yet, but that's just a matter of time. They're just testing it with the Army, and once they get the system, they'll bring it to the other branches of the service. You know, there's been so many problems with integration of the service among the sexes. There were, when they first started allowing women, you don't hear these stories reported too much anymore, but when they first started to allow women to serve on naval vessels, there was a lot of problems with pregnancies. I remember there was an aircraft carrier that had to return to port. They had 5 pregnant women on it. They got pregnant while they were deployed. You can get in trouble for that. You don't hear those stories too much anymore. That's nothing compared to this. You know? But, hey, it's Biden's America we're living in now, and I guess we just got to get used to it. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1 until Trump's back in 2024. And, you know, you can see what I was talking about in the last segment about Biden selling all of that oil, almost 1 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Oil Reserve to his, to himself in China, that he's not concerned about any of these things. In fact, this story like I'm talking about with the transgendered integration in the service is a good distraction for him to do these other things that he's doing, which is enriching himself while he has an opportunity to do so. Now, there's a couple of things, though, that are happening that we have to discuss that I'm not crazy about. But, you know, they're bringing back the primetime January 6th hearings. And it's either going to be next week or the week after. I can't remember if it's next week or the week after. And what is missing from the hearings, of course, are the Secret Service men that totally debunked everything that Hutchinson said. And they came out again yesterday, the Secret Service, and said that everything she said was a lie. And, you know, as this continues to go on, this January 6th Kangaroo Committee, it really shows you, because I know a lot of people say, oh, it's so ridiculous, everybody knows what's going on. It really, truly shows you, okay? It really, truly shows you how out of touch with reality the committee, there you go, the committee are in. Everyone knows that the Secret Service men came out and did this. It's no secret. They've been all over television. It's been all over the news cycle. And still, boom, they're out there continuing the hearings, acting as if the Secret Service men didn't even speak out, and they're not even going to call them to testify. They don't care. They feel completely invincible. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break and be right back. Don't go anywhere. They don't care. They feel completely invincible. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break and be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Tired of boring mornings? We serve controversy with your morning coffee. The Steve Kane Show. Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
All right. It's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Good morning, Barry.
Good morning. How are you today?
Friday.
Of having an estate plan that is periodically updated. Today we're going to talk about how important it is to have an estate plan that's going to make sure that you don't run out of money.
MT MindTap, $100 super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone thank MT for that. We love you, Brian and Kat.
Your lifetime is the cost of care. So if you or your spouse become ill and need care either at home or in a facility, you could spend down your assets. And your estate planning documents can make the difference between being able to get the government benefits to pay for those costs or not getting them. And so very specific clauses in your estate plan that we as elder law attorneys make sure that they're in all of our client documents. Those can be the difference between protecting everything and losing everything. So one thing that's important is to ask yourself, do you have those provisions in your document? If you're not sure, call us and we can help get them reviewed.
Yeah, they're already calling right now. See, that's how important this information is, Barry. That's right. And you know what? It's always a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group if you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio. Here's the number, toll-free, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, online, siegellawgroup.com. All right, Barry, have a great weekend. We'll talk next week. All right, take care.
Listen anytime on the web at www.americanasset.com, where you will learn about structured notes earning approximately 8% interest income and our permanent portfolio strategy that strives to provide income growth and protection. And you can always call my office at 561-955-8500 to make an appointment to meet with me personally, Julian Rubenstein. Have a great day.
Live, local, and in your face. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Steve will be joining us after the top of the hour break, and this is exciting. You know, today is the last day of just being on our stations that we've been on for a long time, which are 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, and, of course, 1470 AM. Starting Monday is the big launch of the expansion of the Steve Kane Show. Starting Monday morning at 5 a.m. We'll be on all the radio stations we are on now, from Broward up to Boca. But we're also going to be on 3 new FM radio stations, taking us all the way up through West Palm Beach, the Palm Beaches, and the Treasure Coast. Stewart, Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce. And that's going to be 95.9 FM, 106.9 FM, and 103.1 FM. So we're going to be on 5 FM radio stations. We'll still be on 1470, by the way, starting Monday. And from 5 to 9, Monday through Friday, on all of these radio stations, all 6 of them. And that's pretty exciting. And those of you looking for our iHeartRadio app, which has been updated, if you go to stevekaneshow.com, you can see the link there. You can also listen to us on Alexa and your Google and all of that as well. So this is exciting. This is Monday's the big launch. It's gonna be tough going to sleep on Sunday night for the launch of our big debut on all these radio stations. I am very much excited about it. All right, now I've been getting text messages. I've been talking about this one issue throughout the morning, and I've been getting text messages of people all morning long too about the assassination of the former Japanese Prime Minister. You know, like with the British Prime Minister resigning yesterday, these other countries rarely, when even tragedies like this happen, have very little impact over the United States, so far as we know at this point. Okay? He's the former Prime Minister, not the current Prime Minister, and he was campaigning for someone who was running for office when this happened. The only thing I can say about it at this time is, well, obviously it's a terrible thing, but I'm talking about, and he worked with Trump, and Trump was friends with this guy. This is Abe, whose name is spelled like Abe. The only thing I can say about it is they have complete gun control in China, yet this guy shot him dead with a homemade shotgun, and it's more evidence that gun control doesn't work, because it didn't work there. But there's not much to say so far as a talk show in the United States goes about this, unless we find out like the CCP was behind this or something. Then we'd start to get into something, oh my goodness, what's going on here? And you know, that's a possibility, you never know, but it looks like a lone lunatic, a Japanese naval veteran, is who they busted for this. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Chaplain Jethro.
Hey, Chaplain, what's up?
Not much. You asked me how I was on 2 different...
Oh, no, yeah, Chaplain Jethro, you have 2 different names on YouTube, yes. Or 2 different accounts on YouTube in the chat room. I was a little curious about that. I don't know if the radio audience is, but since you're on, you can tell me.
Well, I eliminated the other one, at least I thought I had.
Ah.
On my desk.
Oh, I see. Well, you got to figure that out. I can't do tech support for YouTube on the radio, Chaplain. Oh, okay. Well, maybe you can tell me off the air. All right, take care. All right, okay. Tech support. I've been tech support all week here on the program. All right, it is open phones, but not that open. All right, our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. When we say open phones on Friday, I always tell you to be relevant to the news cycle. I don't want to hear about your cat's flea problems and YouTube tech problems. That would kind of fit with the cat. I might be more interested in treating the fleas on the cat than your YouTube tech support problems. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. No, but these incidents, like with the two prime ministers, right? The British prime minister, the former Japanese prime minister. It goes to show you that, these incidents don't have much impact or interest in our lives, okay? And the thing about the United States, if something like these two incidents happen in the United States, a president resigns, or a god-awful situation, like happened just now in Japan with the former prime minister, the financial markets close. Right? You have to close down the financial markets because you could have a financial collapse. You could have a financial collapse when these things happen in the United States, because America, we are number one and the leader of the world in everything. Not just militarily, but economically. And when things like this happen in other countries, there's not that much significance or interest so far as affecting us in this country. Now, maybe that's just me not being interested in foreign policy and foreign things. I don't know. But, that's just me. All right? I mean, what these two incidents, and this thing in Japan is a tragedy. Don't misunderstand me, and I'm sorry that this happened. But what impact does it have on us here in the United States? What impact does the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom resigning have on us in the United States? Little or none. At this point, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, man, this is Conscience again.
Oh, okay, Conscience. What's up, Conscience?
I have a question about January 6th. Did Trump, there were voter...
I don't know what that has to do with January 6th. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right. This has been another thing with with the phones. The phones, this week, the beginning of the week was really good. In the last few days, we really are starting to reflect, and I'm not kidding about this, starting to reflect on whether or not we're going to continue to go screenless on the program, which I enjoy doing. I want to keep it that way, but quality control here on the phones just lately has not been that great. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, maybe we'll have an interesting call now.
Law and Crime, the 7-hour hearing with this Nicholas Cruz.
Yeah, I've been watching some of that.
My God, the website that this guy went on was the most hideous. Hitler, kitty porn all over the place, and this derangement. And then they showed this other guy making videos. The guy that got shot all those people in the parade. These people are all sick. I mean, it's
oh, really? Breaking news: mass shooters. Well, the Nicholas Cruz. This is like a pre-trial hearing for the sentencing phase. The criminal psychologist that's been testifying all week is a friend of mine and a friend of Steve's, and he used to fill in for Steve many years ago. And he's a retired professional wrestler. He used to wrestle for Hulk Hogan, and went by the name Dr. Red Roberts when he would Dr. Red Roberts, and he's a criminal psychologist, and I guess he's examined Nicholas Cruz, and he's been testifying this week. So I've been watching a lot of it just because a friend of mine has been on the witness stand all week.
Brought up something about Dr. Red Roberts. I don't know if you realize this or not. You remember when he used to fight Rusty Brooks?
Mm-hmm.
We're good friends. Bus driver for us.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Thanks.
But this Nicholas Cruz, I don't understand what's going on here. I mean, this judge has to be nothing has happened. This pre-trial portion has been going on for months. I thought he pled guilty. What's going on here?
Save his life. There's going to be a jury trial on whether he gets the death sentence or not.
I'm against the death penalty. But I support it for Nicholas Cruz. And I'll tell you why. You know, what's going on here is an example. These guys that do these things, look at John Hinckley's free now. Not that Nicholas Cruz is ever going to be free, but what happens with these guys is they do interviews forever. Remember Tim McVeigh? Before they executed Tim McVeigh, he was always on TV, grinning ear to ear, doing interviews. And Nicholas Cruz, if he does not get the death penalty, he'll be doing interviews from the Florida penitentiary like Ted Bundy used to do for the rest of his life.
The book
Oh, they're going to have endless books about him.
That sheriff that you talked about yesterday, whatever happened to him?
He's the
deputy that ran away, that hit. His lawyer went up yesterday and asked for a month extension and was granted because he's not prepared. All this time? What's going on?
Yeah, well, the attorney for the cowardly deputy that called in the fake radio calls, who should be charged with manslaughter, this guy, his attorney is a regular Fox News legal pundit. If you've seen him, I don't know his name, but I saw him yesterday talking about it, and I recognize he's on Fox News all the time. He's pretty good with his analysis on Fox News, but he's defending a very bad man, that cop from the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School.
Quick. The stealing of the oil.
Oh.
He lied to the American people. He gave us false hope by saying that he was going to pull this out of the reserve, which is meant for war and hard times here, and he sold it to China.
Well, that'd be more accurate. Biden sold the oil to himself. It's a Hunter Biden-linked company. Hunter Biden's the front man. It's a Joe Biden-linked company. So he took the oil from the Strategic Oil Reserve and sold it to himself, Joe Biden.
Impeach Trump over a phone call. Give me a break. I'm sick.
All right, take care. All right, our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. I don't know. I'll throw this out to you guys. Should we remain screenless on the phones, or should we begin to screen the calls? We've never screened the calls on this program. We have always screened them live on the air. But the quality of the calls the last 2 or 3 days on the program has been not the kind of calls that I would enjoy, you know. But I like screenless calls because I think it makes the show much more interesting. We don't know what's coming. You guys don't know what's coming, and there's some other reasons too. But I like the spontaneity of it, and mostly the negatives of going screenless aren't as bad as the benefits of it. So, you know, you get some lame calls every once in a while when you go screenless, but I think it makes the calls that are good that much better. All right, we'll take our break for the top of the hour. We'll be back. Steve will be joining us. We'll go back to our phones, hopefully increasing the quality just a bit. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this. We'll be back. Steve will be joining us. We'll go back to our phones, hopefully increasing the quality just a bit. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show.
Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Happy Friday, everybody. A hot summertime humid day today with highs in the low 90s and a chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. That trend persists throughout the weekend. I'm WPBF 25 First Morning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
True Oldies. Traffic check.
In the Palm Beaches, it say smooth ride this Friday.
I'm very confused, Chaplain, on your two things. I really don't understand why you have two screen names, because both of them are talking in the chat room all the time. You like topless calls?
Here's your True Oldies ABC News update.
ABC News now. I'm Todd. Japan's former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was shot in the backlog campaigning for a Liberal Democratic Party candidate Friday in Nara. Japan's public television, NHK, reports Abe was holding his chest when he collapsed with his shirt smeared with blood and later showed no vital signs. A reporter with Japanese broadcaster NHK on the scene.
They heard you
longest running radio show in Florida. We are on the air. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
Good morning to you.
Oh, man, I tell you, today's a strange day, Steve. It's a strange morning here on the program, I must tell you. Yeah, and I almost killed myself this week. I was talking to Steve about this. This is, I got to tell people, this week. I'm fine today, thank you. But before I tell the story, I don't want people to think it's still going on. But this week, I've been feeling really off, very strange, and I've been feeling weird. I've been having weird symptoms. I was having some problems yesterday during the show with my hand, and I was having some problems thinking and everything. And what I thought is that I was having like anxiety. I was getting a little nervous about the big show expansion on Monday. Because obviously we're excited about that. So I thought maybe I was just having a little anxiety about that, which is very unusual for me to have anxiety over that kind of thing, stage fright. And then yesterday, my wife and I, we went and had lunch. And then after lunch, I felt very weird. I mean, I was like, I thought I was having a heart attack, Steve, for a second. I got this weird pain in my arm. And this tingling feeling in the right arm, and that's, they tell you, the heart. And I got like really nervous, and I couldn't think straight. And I take 2 prescription medications. I take a cholesterol medication and a blood pressure medication. Yeah, and the reason I have high blood pressure is because of our callers, But and I take it every day. And something possessed me to look at the bottle of my blood pressure medication. I have not been taking my blood pressure medication for a week. I've been taking another medication for something else that I'm not supposed to be taking. So I've been taking the wrong prescription for a week and not taking my blood pressure medication. So my blood pressure's probably been high, but I've been having, the other medication I was taking, I was having all these side effects going on all week long, progressively getting worse from this other medication. And I got lucky, Steve, that I figured it out yesterday, because yesterday was really, I thought I was really having a heart attack. I'm not exaggerating, but I'm okay today. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you can. Oh my goodness! And I spent yesterday drinking.
Really spoil our opening, that's for sure.
Well, it would make the launch interesting, I guess, without me. But I did a lot of detoxing yesterday. I drank a lot of water, and this morning I'm thinking clearly. After the show yesterday's show was very difficult for me. I wasn't even thinking clearly during. But you said you didn't notice.
I can tell the difference.
Well, I could tell the difference. Oh my goodness.
Of course, you were living it.
Yeah, exactly. But you appreciate feeling well when you're not feeling well for a while. Anyway, lots going on in the news, and we've covered a lot of topics today. But I thought the big story of today is not the assassination of the former Japanese Prime Minister, because I don't know what to do about that, Steve. I
get my New York Post, and for the last couple of days, every page is a new horror story. From the day before, even the what do they call it? The parade, the parade
massacre. Yeah, by the transgendered shooter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. There's not room in the Post for all the.
Well, to me, the big story today, to me, is a story that really, it broke yesterday. Well, we got confirmation of the details yesterday, and that is what I believe to be the biggest financial scandal in the history of the United States government, this oil deal that Biden made with the Chinese. And just let me recap it, because this is, everyone's talking about it in the news, but they're not really connecting it right, okay? Joe Biden took all that oil out of the Strategic Oil Reserve of the United States and sold 950,000 barrels to a Chinese company, a CCP company, that is connected to that financial firm of Hunter Biden's. And what they're missing in that is Hunter Biden's the money launderer. He's the front man. It's not a Hunter Biden linked company. It's a Joe Biden linked company. Yeah, the money mule, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so what Biden did, to be more accurate than what's being reported, he took almost 1 million barrels of oil from the United States Strategic Oil Reserve and sold it to himself. I mean, it's basically what he did. I mean, how big of a kickback the Bidens got out of that, I don't know. You know, and by the way, it was people are saying all these kind of things. No, it was not Viagra that I'd been taking all week. That I would have noticed because I'd have been walking around with you know what I would have been like. And I wouldn't have had all those weird symptoms I was having. Oh my goodness. After the show yesterday, I was scared. I called you. I was like really nervous yesterday. I called you after the show. I was like, something's wrong with me. But no, this is, oh, I'm okay. Exactly. No, but this, Biden basically sold the oil to himself. And I mean, that has got to be the biggest. That would be, Steve, that would be like if I took the control board here at the radio station, took it home to me with me and sold it to somebody. I mean, it's like employee theft times infinity.
I mean, this is heavy-duty crime at this point, and they seem to have all the information they need. But I want to go back to what we talked about yesterday, because this whole thing is... It's like, again, I use this analogy of a puzzle, a table puzzle with pieces that
I did get rid of them, Claudia. They're gone.
Until by the end, you see the whole picture. We talked about the comparisons with Dick Nixon. I want to go back for those that remember Richard Nixon and that Watergate impeachment thing and like that. What happens is, things get released piece by piece by piece. This latest piece, this is an example of the kind of thing that will do him in at the end. When the senior Democratic senators take that walk down Pennsylvania Avenue and go up to the White House, whatever it is, and they tell him that the jig is up and he's going to have to resign. This kind of thing is the kind of thing they're going to use. And they're going to say, this before it's released, just prior to its release, they're going to say we can do this clean, or we can do it in a way that's going to affect the way people remember you, and we can have a sanitized ending here if you'll agree to do the right thing and quit. And they'll offer him a deal which sanitizes the announcement.
Yeah. And you know what they'll do? You know what they'll do you know what'll be the closer, Steve? You know what'll be the closer? There'll be two closers. You get to keep all the money you stole. And the other one is, you'll be able to take credit for making the first black woman president of the United States. First female president of the United States, Kamala.
That may not be doable, but that's going to be the deal. And just like Nixon at the end, it happened real fast.
Nixon didn't do anything like this, though, Steve. I mean, he was just moving around some money.
Yeah, no, he didn't do anything like that. Nixon wasn't a thief. He was just a liar who suborned perjury. But no, this guy is much worse than Nixon.
Well, I think you're on. I'll tell you, you're on to something with that. I'll tell you why. This oil deal is too big of a deal just to have happened. That Joe just said, well, I'm going to do this. It's like they're like entrapping him, it seems. The forces that want him out.
They have the whole picture and they're just releasing it publicly piece by piece by piece until the weight of the evidence becomes so horrendous. A piece of evidence like this, that we were talking about this morning, that the old line that I love so much, they'll make him an offer he can't refuse. and he'll disappear in a day.
Speaking of the Godfather, with that line there, James Caan died.
Oh, I'm all upset about it. You know, I'm sitting here in the newly renovated Laurie K Studios, which we have thanks to my good friend Tom Laporta, and I've got 3 movie posters that adorn the walls of the studio here, and of the 3, 2 of them are James Caan films, which is kind of...
Other than The Godfather?
Oh yeah, these are lesser known films. James Caan made some sleeper films, which were great classics that were not too well known. And, I mean, people are familiar with them, but they're not like The Godfather.
Of course not.
One is Rollerball.
Oh yeah, I know Rollerball. Everybody knows Rollerball, yeah.
It's a great poster, an unbelievable poster for Rollerball. And these are the insert size posters. They're tall.
Don't worry, we'll take it. We can take this one a little late, Rick.
The other one is a film that nobody's heard of. That is, I recommend it if you can get it. Please, folks, get this. I'm sure it's available on some of these streaming services they have. It's called Another Man, Another Chance.
Oh, that one I've not heard of.
Susan Terrell. It's a romantic film. It's one that I don't usually go for. What do we call them? Chick flicks. I don't usually go for that, but it's an unbelievable film, and James Caan is great in it. Claude.
Yeah. Well, Steve, we got to take our break, but if callers on hold, stand by. We'll go to the phones after the break, and we'll see what you all have to say. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this. All right.
Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
An honest auto mechanic. You probably don't think they exist, but one does. Eddie at Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. He works on all makes and models, new, old, classic cars, even hybrids. Champagne Automotive Repair is the official mechanic of the Steve Kane Show. Call 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. And make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show. Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching? Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms can make life unbearable, but there is help at the Lighthouse Medical Center. Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. You've seen the ads on TV, and you've heard your friends tell you about MyPillow. MyPillow is guaranteed the most comfortable pillow you will ever own. Right now at MyPillow.com, when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, buy one MyPillow, get one for free. But you have to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com for this incredible offer. Buy one MyPillow, get another one free. Go to MyPillow.com right now. Use the promo code.
The odds that the book is thrown at the Bidens? 0.
Are you feeling over the hill? Tired? Sluggish? Taking those midday naps? Just not feeling yourself? There is help. If you want to look and feel like you did when you were young, call Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West El Rey and talk to him about hormone
Steve Kane Show.
pellet therapy. Take it from me.
Hold on. Steve Kane Show.
561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. And make sure to tell him you heard about him on the radio.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Smarter than 95,000 milligrams of B6. Get smarter with the Steve Kane Show. Mornings 6 to 9 a.m.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Our number, 888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ.
Hey, guys. Good morning. I want to talk a little bit, just quickly, Brittany. I believe she'll be back probably the first 6 months of 2025 when Trump gets in, because Putin's not going to let her go. Maybe she'll get 10 years, maybe she'll get 5, but you know, Putin wants to.
You're talking about the WNBAs. You know, something about this earlier. Okay, Brittany Grenier. I understand she hates America. Well, she may love America a little bit more today than she used to, but she walked out of a game, and was a big yeah.
I have a question about the Grenier. They haven't explored this too much in detail, and that's why I'm a little confused about it. She's got a is it?
No, it's a wife. She's lesbian.
How do you tell the wives from the husbands in situations like this?
Well, they're both women, and you can't really tell the difference. But I assume the bigger one, the one that's 6'9", would be the man in that relationship, so to speak.
Yeah, her wife is girly.
So what makes the
what? Because the other one's masculine and one's feminine. Brittany is masculine. The wife is very feminine.
Yeah, it's not that complicated. It's pretty simple.
But you know, I'll tell you though, she's not going to survive. She's not going to survive, right? Being gay is illegal in Russia. They hate black people, and she's an American. They hate Americans right now, and she's 6'8". I mean, they're just gonna put her in the gulag, and they're gonna torture her.
I think just like that. That's what I was thinking as far as what you were saying. But I really think that Putin will. He wants to keep her as a chip, so to speak. But the real one of the things I wanted to discuss more than anything was this oil, because if you remember correctly, going back to when Trump filled up the strategic reserve, oil was down to like $25 a barrel. In fact, he even said, I'm pretty sure I heard him say a few times that he decided at that time, I mean, why not? If you're going to buy oil to fill up the strategic reserve, let's get it at the lowest price possible. And it also helped stabilize the oil markets, because we were creating so much oil, it was kind of the supply. And where did that profit go? There's like $70 million to $100 million in profit.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what they sold it to them for, but there's no getting around that Joe Biden backs from this. I mean, they sold it to a Chinese communist company that's connected to the Biden financial firm. That's Joe Biden. So he got a kickback on whatever they sold it for. My guess is he doesn't care what they sold it for, high, low, whatever. It's all found money to him.
Right.
And where it's sort of like, I mean, that as far as I heard you talking, Brian, about as far as impeaching him. I mean, yeah, I don't think you can get any damn worse than that. I mean, you just sold some of our strategic reserve to not such a friendly country.
Yeah.
It's going to pocket the money, or if he doesn't pocket it, it's going to go to his third somebody somewhere. Eventually, the money's going to.
No, it's going to go. It's going to.
This is going to all surface at once in a period of a week or so, and it's going to be the final act of this unfortunate drama.
Oh, you think they're going to eat you? Wait a minute. You think within the next couple of weeks he's going to resign over this?
I don't have a time frame, but it's not a question of his resigning. It's a question of his being made an offer he can't refuse. They'll go up and they'll say, we can do this two ways. We can do it clean, or we can do it, and it's going to affect your place in history and the memory of you, of how you're looked at in history. We can do it quick and clean, or it can be ugly.
Who's the they? Who's the they, Steve? The Democrats?
The Democratic establishment.
Yep, that's an interesting analogy. Kind of topping off the piggy bank before he goes.
Very much for those of you who are around for Richard Nixon, very much like Nixon. It all happened in the period of a couple of days. At the end game.
Yeah.
Well, so then we have Kamala. Are we better off?
That's where the Nixon analogy falls short, because there was no Kamala in that.
We go from porn cop or corn pop to Fruit Loops when it comes to cereal. If we get Kamala.
Well, I have a feeling that they probably have. I would wager almost anything they've got stuff on Kamala.
Yeah. Well, between her and Willie Brown.
She's corrupt.
Well, I know that I know one thing they have on her. No. I know one thing they have on her. This came out during the second Democrat debate. She had a death penalty case that she hid evidence from the defense on when she was the attorney general out in California. They came out in one of the debates, just a reference to it. That's big.
It's going to be something that is proffered by the.
Yeah, the
Democrats are going to.
We're hearing that about that.
Yeah, it was brought up by oh boy, what's the name? You know what I'm talking about? The one with all the acne scars on her face, and she's a favorite over on Fox. They love her on Fox. Tulsi Gabbard. Okay. Oh yeah, Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah, she's big lefty. Well, then you don't. Well, because you don't know anything about her, then, because she's a. Really? Do you know that she supports the Green New Deal and other things? But anyway, she came in the second debate and tore down Kamala after Kamala humiliated Biden in the first debate, and Tulsi. Yeah, well, she's as liberal as all the rest. She's AOC. Just a little older, and she brought up. She is, Steve. She supports the Green New Deal. You just think she's hot. You haven't seen her up close. That's all. But Tulsi Gabbard brought up a death penalty case, and I remember she said the name of the case where she covered up evidence from the defense in a death penalty case in California. That is huge.
Looked into and overturned.
Well, that's what they'll use against her. Yeah.
It's going to be the thing to remember is all of this stuff that we're talking about is going to be proffered by the Democrats, not by the Republicans.
Yeah. Well, listen, we gotta run, but thanks, JJ, for the call. I appreciate it. All right. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. Call us on hold. Stand by. We'll go back to the phones after the break. And remember, Fridays we do keep it open phones on Fridays, so long as you're relevant to what's going on in the current news cycle. It doesn't have to be something we brought up today, but try to be relevant. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, is here. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this. Don't go anywhere. Have to be something we brought up today, but try to be relevant. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane. Steve Kane Show. Hang on.
They're always politically correct, but the snowflakes still disagree. Find out why right here on the Steve Kane Show, mornings 6 to 9. Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Happy Friday, everybody. A hot summertime humid day today with highs.
Yeah, if anybody knows that case.
This afternoon, that trend persists throughout the weekend. I'm WPBF 25 First Morning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
True Oldies. Traffic check.
In the Palm Beaches, the major expressway still looking very good this morning. On 95 and the Turnpike are crash free. We're just seeing some light congestion now on 95 heading southbound between Pointy Beach Boulevard and Atlantic Avenue. The northbound side of I-95 is also starting to slow now between Deerfield Beach and Boca Raton. We have a multi-vehicle crash on 441 southbound just past Atlantic Avenue. This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. Getting stuck in traffic is part of owning a car. Getting stuck because you don't have the right parts doesn't have to be. That's because eBay Motors has all the right parts at the right prices, 122 million of them. So keep moving and moving in style at ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Let's draft up Chris Barr.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. They will test for both environmental and food allergies. No appointment is necessary. And make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
This is Steve Kane. We are here this morning with William Youngerman from William Youngerman, Inc. for our Gold Report. William, how are you? Welcome to the show. Wanted to ask you the big question, the big one that everyone wants to know. With gold, when's a good time to buy, and when do you sell?
Okay, that's and the answer to the question, when do you sell, is really goes back to why did you buy it in the first place? When the reason you bought it is fulfilled, it's time to sell. Or when the reason that you bought it no longer exists, it's time to sell. In 1980, gold hit a high of $850, and people had bought gold all the way up to that level. And at that time, the reason to own gold changed dramatically because we had 25% interest rates all of a sudden. The government said we will stop inflation no matter what, and they did so with very high interest rates. That reason for owning gold then changed, and we dramatically told our customers in 1980, sell your gold, sell. It's finished for the time being.
Wesley, $5 super chat. Thank you, Wesley. Good morning, Brian. I like what Abbott has done regarding ordering Texas National Guard. Yes, I like that too.
You don't necessarily buy and sell your life insurance policies. You have it for a particular reason. And some of your money should always be in gold, regardless of what the price is doing. Historically, we've always said at least 5%. At this particular time, we recommend much higher percentage of our assets being gold, silver, and platinum. So the reason for buying it will determine when to sell it. If that reason changes or is fulfilled, that's the time to sell it. But
that kind of time,
must go along with the
15
fact
to 20
that
seconds.
Okay.
that gold is the only real money in the world. It is the only thing that has.
Hey, Rich, don't make a big deal about that one break taking it late. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Don't make a federal offense. It's cool, but don't, that was an unusual thing. I agree. That's okay.
William Youngerman, Inc., located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. You can drop by. It's in the Bank of America building, right on the first floor, opposite the Bank of America. You can call William at 1-800.
He cut us off before we went to break last time, so we were talking about that. Steve Kane Show.
An honest auto mechanic, you probably don't
Hold
know
on.
they exist, but one does. Eddie at Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. He works on all makes and models, new, old, classic cars, even hybrids. Champagne Automotive Repair is the official mechanic of the Steve Kane Show. Call 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. And make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Get it off your chest. Just call in 888-GO-KANE-1.
Hello.
You'll thank us later. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian, Steve Kane here. I just wanted to tell you about your girlfriend here for a second, Steve. Tulsi Gabbard, just so you know, okay? You with me? Okay, I just wanted to let you know. I wanted to let you know. She is in favor of ending cash bail, banning private prisons. She wants to legalize all drugs, not just marijuana, all drugs, end the war on drugs. And she's also against all the pipelines. Just so you know who you're, supporting. Yeah, that's why you like. Yeah, well, that's it. Other than she wants to legalize all drugs, that includes heroin, Steve. That includes, that includes cocaine. Well, I don't want to support liberals. All right, let's take some calls. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
John from Coral Springs, home of the Great Wings Plus. John, how you doing?
That's right.
Hey, John, what's up?
Not much, Steve. First of all, Brian, congratulations on 1,300 plus podcasts and going strong.
That's right.
For 45 years and going strong. We're lucky to have DeSantis as our governor, and we're lucky to have you guys on the radio expanded even more. So more people are going to be privileged to the pleasure that we tend to partake on a daily basis. Steve,
you were very kind.
Yeah, please. I'm only stating the facts and everything. Let me tell you, guys work hard like Trump and everything. And if you guys remember, it was Trump that bailed out that Ball kid. Remember LeVar Ball that was living off his kid, Steve? And one of them got in trouble in China, and Trump got him out, and that no good father took back, didn't even say thank you for what he had done.
Wait a minute, isn't that the one, the warm beer, is that the kid in North Korea that was vandalizing things in North Korea and got arrested?
In China, one of his 3 sons, I guess they play basketball, Brian.
Oh, yes, I remember that now, yes. Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind, if Trump was in office, he would have probably got Griner out right now because he's a guy with a backbone and everything. Same thing for the tampons. Same thing for what's going on here with the diapers and everything else that destroys the pipeline that he put in, and we were getting big prices on gas and everything like that. The man doesn't sit still, and it boggles me to see that his age, he looks so much advanced for his age. Steve, it's incredible right now. Look at Obama. Look at Biden. Look at these guys. I mean, and if the press gave them half the aggravation that Trump got, they'd be buried right then and there, you know?
Yeah, Trump is the only President Trump is the only president to de-age while president. He looks younger today. When you see him in Alaska tomorrow at his rally, he looks great.
And guys, if I may say in closing, he was a godsend because when you went to McCain and we went to Romney, they were going after anybody that was Republican. This guy has been a godsend because we knew what we had going in, that we needed somebody who had somewhat of a backbone, but they had to fight off the press. This guy was like I don't know where he gets this, hey, the guy could be a stand-up comedian, he could be, the crowds that he draws right now are phenomenal because people want to stand behind somebody with a backbone, and I hope that guy would get him back in.
Oh, we will.
Their mess. He's got to clean up their mess to go forward, but he knows the game plan. And like you said, Brian, I'll take, even if it comes down to a Trump or a non-Trump, I'll take a guy that signs the check in front rather than a guy that signs the checks in the back. And you guys have a fantastic weekend.
All right. What I tell you, that caller, he's got great taste in radio. That caller, I must say, great taste in talk radio.
Slayer or whatever they get. Is it Cremo or Crimo?
Crimo.
Crimo the Third. What a piece of work. Anyway, the reporters
Steve
are
Kane
starting to do some research on this guy.
Yeah, hold on.
And they're talking to members of the family. And what a bunch of loonies. If you want to know why this guy is out of his mind, you just got to listen to the father talking. And the mother is interesting.
Dan, $20 super chat. Thank you, Dan, so much. Ultra MAGA 2024 Save America. Yes.
Talking. But there's a lot of film that they have of the mother, and she is, I don't know how to describe it. The kid, Bobby the Third, is really screwed up sexually. He's got a blow-up doll that he keeps in his room a sex doll that he keeps in his car, and he drives around with it. I mean, these people are really.
It reminds me of Al the John.
Spot.
It reminds me of Al the John with the doll.
The mother's like a sex pot. She doesn't. I didn't see her talking, but the way she dresses and the way she carries herself, you can tell there's a weird chemistry between.
Yeah.
That probably is going to come out in the long run, but they're really screwed up.
Well, and he's also transitioning. He's transgender.
That's the other thing. As you see film of him, he is deep into transition. And now they don't talk about it so much. Now that this guy is not one they want to use as a role model, but you want to know what all this stuff that's going on in schools, how it can screw people up. This guy is really, I mean, try to catch some film of him. And
no, I've seen him. Look at his mugshot. And when he made his escape dressed as a woman, he was too into it with the lipstick and everything. I mean, he was really, yeah. Well, you know what? He's so effeminate. I mean, he spent like a lot of time picking out his outfit and everything for the escape. He even had like a bandana on.
Relationship with his mother. This is going to emerge, I believe.
All right. Well, let's take some more calls. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Anthony from Central Pennsylvania. Hey,
hey, Anthony.
Do you remember? Hey, Steve. Do you guys remember that story from CNN? It was a year ago, or maybe a few months ago, that they were talking about how the Donald Trump airplane, Trump Force One, how it was in disrepair. Falling apart, abandoned in an airport in New Jersey. It was all a lie. It was in Louisiana getting retrofitted. That video that you mentioned the other day, I watched it. I almost teared up with that video. The fact that he took the big T out of the tail of the aircraft and he put an American flag there. What politician does that with their personal?
Yeah, what the other ones do, Bill Clinton doesn't own his own plane. He likes to hitch rides with Jeffrey Epstein on his plane. But I was talking about this yesterday with this new renovated Trump Force One, which is what I think that's kind of the common name for it. The Trump family released an incredible video of them painting the newly renovated Trump Force One. And at the very end of the video, go online and watch it, the camera goes to the ceiling of the hangar, and very briefly, there's some flags up there, and one of them says Trump 2024 right above the plane. And it just fades real quick. If you blink, you'll miss it. And that's not there by accident. The Trumps put that in there on purpose. That was like an announcement.
Yeah, and any of the listeners, they should really watch that video. It's you could tell the guys that are working on the plane, if you watch closely, you could tell they're Trump guys. And they're not, they're black, white, Hispanic, whatever, and they're having fun. They're doing it, they're putting their heart into what they're doing. And whoever put that in there at the very end with the Trump 2024, it's a subtle thing, but it really shows.
Dan,
that,
thanks for that $20 super chat. Everyone thank Dan for that.
He's in it. He's not gonna not run.
Well, that plane is what we saw was him unveiling the campaign plane. That's what it was. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he flies to Alaska in it, tell you the truth, tomorrow. May not be quite ready yet, but it's been completely renovated. Completely.
If the CNN lie that they were.
Well, no. There was before it was renovated. These planes, they get new engines and everything. I saw this, and they had a photograph of it with the engines removed and things like this, and then they ran with that story. Planes like that they take the engines off. It was wishful thinking on CNN's part. Exactly. But it looked beautiful, didn't it? It looks beautiful.
once he comes down to Florida. And you really, you should.
I'm gonna. Let me tell you, when Trump Force One returns to Mar-a-Lago, I'll be there right away, checking it out. Believe me, don't worry. I'll make a YouTube video. I'll show it to everybody. I think that's the campaign flag, and I think I think he calls it Trump Force One at this point. But listen, we got to run. Thanks for the call. All right, callers on hold. Stand by. We're going to go to the gold report, and then we'll come back with more of your calls at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this. Gold report, and then we'll come back with more of your calls at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this.
Leave the politics to us. Start your day the Steve Kane way. Cold, hard facts. Morning 6 to 9 with Brian Craig.
All right, it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How you doing?
Good. How the metals look today?
Metals look stable right now. Yesterday we saw gold gain $1.10, closing at $1,739.80 the ounce, while silver was unchanged at $19.20. Platinum and palladium, the big gainers. Platinum up $19 yesterday at $875, and palladium up $92 at $1,934. A lot of talk about Russia holding back supplies of palladium and stuff, pushing that market up nicely. So gold this morning trading in a range from 1730 to 1747. Right now we're at 1737. That's down $2.80. Silver's at $19.15 the ounce. That's down a nickel, having traded in a range of $19 to $19.40 so far today. Platinum up $1 at $8.76, and palladium up another $56 at $1,990 an ounce. That's pretty much where we are.
Yeah, and don't forget, everything at William Youngerman's is available for immediate delivery. You walk in, and they don't just sell the metals; they also buy them. And you can give them a call. They open up weekdays at 10 a.m. 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, or stop right in. Located right here in Boca at 150 East Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, have a great weekend. We will talk on Monday.
Okay.
All right, take care. Back after this.
Men, do you suffer from ED? If so, you know it can be very frustrating, not just for you, but your partner too. Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West El Rey can help. Call for a free consultation, 561-320-8893. Call now and get your erection back on demand. Ladies, you can make an appointment for your man too. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
Grab your coffee and get ready to be triggered. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian, Steve Kane here. Our number one 888-GO-KANE. You know, what's going on in New York, Steve? This guy that worked at the convenience store, they lowered his bail, so he's out on bail, but he's still facing charges for stabbing this thug. I've never seen anything like this.
These things are all good, though, because when they're finished, you learn a lesson from them. I mean, it really said it all. Yeah, the victim ended up being the one that was charged. I mean, it was outrageous. But it exposed the flaws in the system. And they got it right in the end.
No, they didn't get it right. They didn't drop the charges yet, and you know when they just lowered the bail. Well, you know, you knew you. But even when they do that, they got to clear out his arrest record, because if they drop the charges, he still has an arrest record. You've got New York is being run by three radicals: the mayor, that lady police commissioner, and that DA. This is worse than ever in New York. You know, when crime was bad in New York before, at least they were afraid of going to jail. And now, boom, you can't, and you can't even defend yourself now. There was, when they yeah.
The right thing, because they're in this.
No, Steve, listen. This is one incident, and they may take care of that because they've gotten some bad blowback, but they're not changing what they're doing with the DA. What's going to change? What's going to change in New York?
Trouble.
So they get another liberal jerk in his place.
If you want to be negative about it, you can do that. You know me. I like to see the good coming from the bad.
No, listen. There's a crime wave, like this recall in California. There's a crime wave going on in this country that is a direct result of George Soros backing these district attorneys all over the country. It's being revealed by Fox News, and that's an audience that already knew about it. It's not.
Break to back down. Bail, all that stuff is done behind the scenes. They look terrible.
Oh yeah. Until the next one. You know, when that guy at Christmas time, the guy that burned down the Fox News Christmas tree was out of jail and was there at the lighting of the new one. The criminals, they have zero fear now. That's the problem. You know, criminals used to be, they don't want to go to jail. They don't want to get caught. And now they don't have fear. That's why crime is on the rise in all these places that liberals are controlling around the country. I'm not sure why liberals are so pro-criminal. I've never really understood that. They view the criminals as the victim. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's basically it. All right, our number. You know, it depends on where you get your new. Like, okay, this story in New York is just sickening, and it's an extreme example of a big problem. It's getting covered. They didn't reverse it. They just lowered the bail. They didn't reverse it. They lowered the bail from $250,000 to $50,000. On bail, he still has the charge. You think they're going to drop all? You think Bragg's going to drop all charges? Now we'll find out. All right. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You can't straighten it out when you got the same jokers running the city. Nothing will be straightened out. They'll just dispense of this so they don't get the bad PR. If there was no video of this, the guy'd still be in Rikers. All right, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Alan Boca.
Yes, Al.
Pray that you make it through well, because Skip Long is testifying.
Oh no. Jack Clark. Did you hear that, Steve? Jack Clark is going to be. Yeah.
Gosh, Jack Clark. Oh my God, not Jack Clark. Anything but that.
Oh.
Is that it?
Back who passed away, and that movie you mentioned is something I did see with.
Now, man, I got a question for you, Al. I know. See, he's making me sick too, Steve. I'll tell you. We were talking earlier, Al, and this is something that you might be able to comment on, sharing your expertise. We were talking about this shooter in Illinois who was traveling around town in his car and out in public with his sex doll. When you do that, do people stare? Do they make comments about your doll, or do they act like it's your girlfriend?
Well,
No, that's the end of it. That's oh my goodness. You know, you know the thing about this shooter with the sex doll, Steve. You know, he lived with his dad. He lived with his dad. What? No. He lived with his dad and his uncle. The parents are split. He lived with his dad and his uncle. He did not live with his mother.
The mother yesterday.
Well, he has a mother, but he didn't live with her. And he borrowed her car after the shooting, and they captured him in the mother's car. He switched cars and borrowed mom's car. But if you're... she must be fantastic looking because you're obsessing over the pictures of the mother.
I mean, it's not just fantastic. She's weird.
Oh, okay.
A stripper.
Oh, okay. No, I did see a picture. I saw a picture of her the other day, and it didn't seem very remarkable to me. But it seems to me that if your son comes home with a sex doll and he drives around town in the sex doll, you would intervene and do something about that. I mean, which I wouldn't want my son bringing a sex doll into the house, and I certainly wouldn't want him driving around town with it in the passenger seat like it's his girlfriend. I'd be a little concerned.
By the time you reach that stage, the damage has been done.
I didn't know that the sex dolls were still a thing. I didn't know people still had those and used them. I thought that they...
He had it hanging in his closet with a listen to this, with a noose around.
Yeah, I saw that. I also saw the picture of him driving around in his car with the doll in the passenger seat. And the father still sponsored him to get the gun license. Oh yeah, the father's facing charges. There's no doubt about it. He's facing charges. I mean, you got to have some responsibility here. By the way, I was talking to a caller earlier, Steve. I was watching the Nicholas Cruz hearings, you know, the Parkland shooter on TV, and the criminal psychologist that has been testifying all week is our old friend, Dr. Red Roberts. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was thinking about that. He's testifying. When this case gets to the next phase, I'll call him up. We'll see if we can bring him in. He used to fill in for you a long time ago. And he's been... Yeah, I was watching. He was giving a lot of analysis of Nicholas Cruz, and I don't know why this is still going on. He pled guilty, and now they're having like a trial for the death penalty phase. It's been going on for months and months and months, and it's a bizarre case. And the attorneys that they have, I was surprised. I was listening to the attorneys. They don't seem like top-tier attorneys to me. It must be hard for him to find counsel. But it was interesting to see our old friend. We're more connected than people think. Didn't think we'd have a connection like that. Yeah. All right, well, you know, today's the last day, Steve, of just being on our regular radio stations. On Monday's the big expansion. So that's very exciting. Yes, starting Monday, we do our big expansion. We're adding 3 new FM stations. The Steve Kane Show will now be on the air all the way from down in South Broward, all the way north through the Palm Beaches, all the way up through the Treasure Coast. And it's going to be MAGA mornings here from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. It's going to be amazing. We're going to go all the way up through West Palm, Stewart, Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, and it all starts, which we could use this week. Oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness! I tell you, the calls this week. You know, the calls this week are chronics or the level of collapse that they're dealing with right now.
Period in our.
Oh yeah, and I think you're right. This oil deal is too big of a deal to be ignored. This is going to be the beginning of the end for Biden. It's too big of a deal. It's almost 1 million barrels of oil. I don't know how, one of our callers brought up a good point. What did they charge per barrel? Did they charge like market price even? Probably not, knowing these guys. And it looks like what it is. Totally corrupt. You know, that he released, it was controversial just taking oil out of the reserve anyway and putting it into the American domestic market to lower prices. People were saying that was the wrong thing to do. And then to sell it to our enemy, the CCP in China, and it's a company that's connected to your own family company, My goodness. I mean, that's just the end of it.
New surprises each and every day.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. All right, well, that's it for us for the week. We'll be back bright and early on Monday morning with the new expanded Steve Kane Show, and we're all very excited about that. After all these years, Steve, we made it. Better late than never. No, it's very exciting. I'm very excited. We're going to be in MAGA country big time. Listen, everyone, have a great weekend. Steve Kane and I will see you all Monday morning. And have a great weekend till then. Take care, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. This is the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida on the radio since 1977. The Steve Kane Radio Show, celebrating 45 years on the radio. All right, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back Monday morning. Have a great one. All right. Oh, my goodness. Well, thanks, everyone. Thought it was a pretty good show today. It feels nice not to be on these prescription medications that I was on, I'm here to tell you. Oh, my goodness. He was too... A friend of mine texted me and said maybe he was... A friend of me texted... Do you guys have HOV lanes in your community? Someone texted me, a friend of mine. They said he was driving around with a sex doll so he could drive in the HOV lane where you got to have two people in the car. That's pretty funny. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you, Chaplain. I appreciate it. I'm happy too, Christine. I'm very, very excited. You know, this is... well, you guys can't see it because it's not in color. This map, this is the expansion we're doing. These are the news stations. This isn't in color, but this is the area we're expanding. So right here is Lake Okeechobee, right? And this is Fort Pierce. This is the northern edge. So we're adding all this territory on top of our signal that we already have, which is south of here. This expand. In Deerfield, my guess would be Treasure Life up the back of the scooter. There's not a lot of weight to them. Yeah, I know, it's a big area, isn't it? Because this is the expanded area. So if you look on the map of Florida, which I don't have here, this is Lake Okeechobee, which is pretty big, you know. And there's 3 stations, and each one of these is the coverage area of those stations. So it starts here. This is just the expanded area. Goes all the way north. This is Fort Pierce, which you can find on a map. So we're going to go north of Fort Pierce, and then all the way on the west side of Lake Okeechobee, and boom. Our radio stations now are like from this point south. So that's pretty crazy. It's a big expansion. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. Yeah. Huge area. But we have to take all the breaks on time. So I have Kathy's old iPhone, and I'm using this to keep track of our time, you know, so we take the breaks on time, you know. And then we have this break clock. I'll show you what I'm going to do. This is the clock that we have to go by. So we take our breaks at the top, then we have a break at 14 minutes, then we come back at 17, and then down here we break at 27. Then we, you know, that's the break, and then here's the last break of the hour. So we have to go by this every hour. You know, we got news, traffic, and weather at the top. We've got weather and traffic at the bottom. You know, so that's why we're, you know, yeah, they did it in 2 phases so that we could get used to doing it on schedule this week, because we started actually a week ago today. So we had all this week to get used to taking the breaks on time just on our regular stations, and then starting Monday. So when they start networking with us on Monday, they're going to be picking up the show on these other radio stations. We have to be exactly on time for the breaks. and the breaks have to be exactly this amount of time each break, so that the stations that are picking us up, they're playing different commercials than we're playing. So, they're playing their own commercials while we're playing ours here. So, yeah. So that's why we have to take the breaks on time, is for the networking. But I think we got it worked out. We had a little disagreement today because the breaks that are at quarter after and quarter till, you don't have to take exactly on time. But but the board up thinks that you do. So. He is quarter till, yes. He is quarter till, same time. William Youngman calls in at quarter till 9. Yep. A generic Bolex. Yeah, right. Right. You can get good deals on Rolexes from William Youngerman. He carries Rolexes, and they're very nice. Let's see here. I got that taken care of. Got that taken care of. All right, guys. Hey, listen. If you have not already subscribed, and everyone, please like the video. Get a medication dispenser. I need to do something. I mean, I was taking that other medication maybe for 5 or 6 days, because I'm not exactly sure which day, but I was having some strange symptoms, I must tell you, from taking the wrong medication and not taking my blood pressure medication, and I was getting really weird. Yesterday, it was a little bit before noon when I figured it out, and I was like getting nervous. I was feeling so weird. I was getting this tingling down my arm. Hold on. And I thought that I was having like a heart attack, and I was feeling, and because I felt like, and I was like, something is going on here, because I've been having these weird, like during the show yesterday, I was having a tough time during yesterday's show. I was having a hard time concentrating, and it was affecting my creativity a little bit. Like I couldn't think as clearly as I normally could. And it's like I was saying earlier, I thought I was just, nervous about our expansion. And then when I went to take, it wasn't anxiety. It was I was taking the wrong medication for the week. And then when I went to take my medication, my blood pressure medication, I said, well, let me look at the bottle. And I realized I have not been taking my blood pressure medication all week. I was taking another medication, and that I'm not supposed to be taking for something else. And that's not good. And everything I was feeling were the side effects from this other medication, plus my blood pressure was high. Yeah. So it was worse than fog. It was very weird stuff. I don't want to say what all the symptoms were, because then people will start guessing. No. Luckily, I found out about it, because if I could have gone days, another week, without knowing. And after the show yesterday, I was like really like not feeling well. I called Steve. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Something's going on. All right, guys, listen, I got to take off, but I'll talk to you soon. All right, I'll see you over the weekend. All right, take care.